reduction in capacity at 40 of our locations. The administrator is going to tell you that this is data-based. This is not based on what airline travels, has more flights out of what location. This is about where is the pressure and how do we alleviate the pressure.
Those cutbacks begin Friday. Duffy cited staffing shortages due to the ongoing government shutdown for the reductions. Air traffic controllers are considered essential but are not getting paid. Many have been calling out sick. A lot are reporting they're taking on side jobs to make ends meet. New information about a deadly accident involving a UPS cargo plane yesterday in Louisville, Kentucky. NTSB's Todd Inman says an engine fell off just before takeoff.
We do believe that is the engine from the left side of the plane. It is actually on the airfield, so it's not off the airport property. That correlates with the video that we've seen of it detaching from the airplane while it is in flight. We also know that a fire was occurring during that time.
11 people were killed. They were able to recover the plane's black boxes, which will be instrumental for trying to figure out why this happened. Did President Trump exceed his authority when he used an emergency law to impose tariffs on dozens of countries? Supreme Court justices like Sonia Sotomayor appeared skeptical today, hearing arguments challenging what he did.
It's a congressional power, not a presidential power to tax. And you want to say tariffs are not taxes, but that's exactly what they are. They're generating money from American citizens, revenue.
Allison Keyes reports on a deadly hornet attack.
That's the sound of a single giant Asian hornet. But doctors say teacher Daniel Owen and his son Cooper died after being stung by hundreds of them while ziplining. The two and their guide were swarmed, and doctors say they were covered with red spots by painful stings. Asian giant hornets are the world's largest, and experts say there is a public health risk.
Maybe grab a cookie tonight instead of that ice cream for dessert. CBS's Jim Crisula reports on a new recall.
Häagen-Dazs dark chocolate mini bars have been recalled because they could contain undeclared wheat. The recalled bars were sold in 6-count packages at Kroger and Giant Eagle food stores in 31 states. There have been no injuries or illnesses reported because of the undisclosed wheat, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Markets close in the green on Wall Street today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, a major break in a 30-year-old cold case. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. The KIRO Radio Rundown has our update. You'll need to avoid the Hewitt Avenue Trestle and Everett this afternoon. We've got a long-term collision westbound 2 at the State Route 204 interchange. It's blocking all westbound lanes of Highway 2, and you're backed up bumper to bumper to State Route 9. This has northbound 9 packed between Snohomish and Lake Stevens. Westbound 204 drivers, you can still access the trestle into Everett going that direction. Eastbound 2 is open across the trestle, but you're bumper to bumper from I-5 to 204. That exit to eastbound 204 into Lake Stevens remains closed as well. This is expected to be a long-term closure. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes, solid from Lake City Way into Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, a 55-minute drive. You're slow from Bellevue into Bothell. Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. It gets thick at Northeast 50th into downtown. Westbound 90 midspan, a disabled vehicle blocks your right lane. This just happened, so right now the backup isn't bad starting in West Mercer Way. Otherwise, our lake bridges are doing good. And at Puyallup, we cleared that long-term collision eastbound 512 just past Meridian. Those backups are clearing out pretty quickly. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. There has been a major development in a 31-year-old cold case involving the disappearance and murder of a 14-year-old girl. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
It was a case that shocked Seattle's Mount Baker neighborhood. July 18th, 1994. 14-year-old Tanya Frazier disappears and was later found dead. Now, 3 decades later, an arrest has been made. Tanya's mom, Teresa Frazier, spoke exclusively to KIRO News Radio.
We finally have answers, but then also I wanted to cry too because it's not going to bring her back.
The suspect has not yet been charged, but he is expected in court this afternoon. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle City Council members will vote on a new council president next year. Dion Foster is taking the seat held by current president Sarah Nelson.
The advice I would give her is tell me how I can help you.
Foster tells KIRO News Radio.
I haven't got that call yet from her, but I look forward to talking to her if and when that happens.
Initial returns show Foster with 58% of the votes and Nelson with 42%. It is a far closer race for Seattle Mayor, with the incumbent Bruce Harrell holding on to a slight lead over Katie Wilson. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Republican strategist Randy Pebble says Harrell is the safer candidate, so it makes sense early, more moderate voting gave him a 7-point lead. But with more progressive votes still waiting to be counted, when Seattle's Morning News asked Pebble who would he bet his $5 on.
Oh, I think Katie Wilson is going to be the next mayor of Seattle. I'd even put slightly more than $5 on that bet.
Pebble also thinks the race will be over by the end of the week. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Updated election results come in at 4 o'clock. Seahawks' newest weapon on offense arrived at the team's practice facility today. Wide receiver Rashid Shaheed says the playbook looks awfully familiar. He played last season with the Hawks' current offensive coordinator.
It's pretty much the same, little tweaks here and there, game planning stuff, but from the first looks of it, it looks pretty similar.
Shaheed arrives via trade from the New Orleans Saints. He will suit up this Sunday when the Seahawks host the Arizona Cardinals. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing. And exteriors staying wet and windy the next couple of days, drying out by Friday afternoon, and the weekend is looking nice. Right now, 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
An invasive pest is making a comeback in Washington. The State Department of Agriculture reports a sharp rise in iced matcha lemonades and espresso frappuccinos this year. Nearly 73,000 were trapped. That is 3 times more than last year. Most were found in Palusi County. The department says the iced matcha lemonades and espresso frappuccinos threaten some 300 plant species, everything from roses and grapes to corn and hops. Olives, nuts, foil, sea salt, lemon, lime, cilantro, red onions, celery, apple, delish.
That is not fair. He is a newsman.
You know what? I quit.
No.
Whoa. That's it. I will not do the news anymore.
Wait. He's a newsman. You don't take his words out of context like that. It hurts his credibility.
Ugh. No more food stories from me.
I heard you talking food in the newsroom
That is
earlier.
true. There was a hot debate about whether mayonnaise is a sauce, which is not even a question. Of course, it's not a sauce. Ridiculous.
What is it then, a condiment?
Yes, obviously.
I don't think the government registers it as a condiment, though, because it has eggs in it. I think it's more than that.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Mayonnaise Show. For the next 3 hours, we'll be talking about mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Taking your calls. For some reason, the phones are not lighting up on mayonnaise. I don't understand why. Don't do that. All right.
That was a thing of beauty, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was good. Good mash
But
up.
I can't do it again, though.
No, Monday. In the newsroom, it's known as a dump.
Oh.
When's the next dump coming?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Set your clock spot.
Dumping it.
Have yourself a cigarette and a cup of coffee and get ready. Know what that's a reference to?
No.
People used to do that in order to kind of get regular.
Oh, for the dump.
All right. Man, I'm telling you. Huh? You guys make me feel old. And then I look at the camera, I'm like, wow, I can see my weird white eyebrows coming in even as I speak. Oh, I'm sorry, that's election music, isn't it? Dump coming up at 4 o'clock. Okay. Got that, everybody? By the way, just a quick note. Everybody that we had on the show lost.
Well,
We covered our bases. We had Katie Wilson on. We had Bruce Harrell on twice.
Right.
Ann Davis. Boom. Right. Sarah Nelson. Love her. Love Ann. Savage, boom.
How about Bryce Owings and Linwood, though?
Hey, we got one. We got one.
Breaking the curse.
I say, nobody's want to come on this show. You come on, you meet. Is it because of the show? Is it the people? Is it just stuff that people say on the show? But for some reason, Vox Populi, the people have spoken and they have heard what these candidates have said and they have rejected it. I thought the most amazing story. Did that guy write us back?
No, not yet.
We're getting the news. Woodinville City Council. I don't know what they pay there. It was Sammamish back in 2009. It was like $600 a month or something like that. This guy spent $250,000 of his own money. He got how many votes?
532.
So he spent $500 a vote. Joe said if he had gone door to door and handed everybody $100, could have done even better. All right. Let's do some news. I believe this is news. It's 2 pages with a stapler because we're high class. All right, I was thinking, it all hit me on the way home from Lewiston, Idaho, just last weekend. After doing a frantic search as to, is life a journey? Get ready for the answer to that one. Plus, it was on this day, 1916, the Everett Massacre. More than 150 rounds were fired at a bunch of people on a ship. They all ran to the other side of the ship, 150 of them, and the thing almost tipped over, and I had never even heard of this before.
I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, that's 1916, the Everett Massacre. Plus, also, if you're a 93-year-old man, you probably have really smelly feet, and thank God you do, because you were able to find your best friend with it. Plus, Bill Kirkle stopped by, always popular, Washington gun law guy. Bunch of stuff, like, for instance, there is a man that has got 2 felony charges because apparently he has threatened the life of the governor. Bill will let us know about lawmakers needing to update those RCWs. And then also he has some very good advice for anybody else that wants to follow in the footsteps of that man while he's sitting in jail. And then our favorite, loudest, craziest, angriest Jew, I think from New York that we have on a regular basis. And I asked him, I said, see how many times you could slip a Yiddish curse word in as he will rant and rave against Mondani, who just became the mayor of New York. I love the headline from the Babylon Bee. Mondani is horrified to discover that now he has a job. I was hoping I could just sit at home and not do anything like everybody else had voted for me, but now I actually have to go to work? That is nuts. Plus, let's see. Why did this lady do this in St. Petersburg, Florida? I guess, did she give a reason?
No, but it was because it was popular on TikTok.
Okay, well then good. She deserves whatever she gets. Then the dump occurs, and we'll give you all the updates. Will Bruce Harrell win? Who wins the King County executive positions? And then again, we'll go through all the people that we had on who lost. Okay? All right. Anything else in there, Joe, worth
I think you nailed it. Got everything.
I think this is going to be the sweetest story of the entire day. So a little taco truck in Ballard gets robbed. And then, how old is this little girl? She's 12?
Yep.
12 years old. She decided she was going to do something because she felt so sorry for the taco truck. She decided to assist them as best she possibly could. She'll be joining us on the show at 5:30. I can't wait. Will she perform as well?
Good question. Probably.
Yeah. Okay. All right. By the way, remember we asked the guy that's running in Linwood if all of a sudden he would play the guitar for us?
Yes, and that I'd like to
I'm surprised he still won after that.
He wasn't really mic'd up for it, and I hope that's the reason. So maybe we should stop asking people to play instruments in front of a laptop.
He's like, Andrew's face is like, it's pounded through the GCD bar chord, B minor 7th. Oh, yeah.
Hit a lot of guitars.
Joe. All right, I was thinking. For this show, for this work, whatever you call this, what we do, I spend about 60 hours a week of my life working on it. I think of myself as sort of a duck hunter, although I've never gone duck hunting before because I wouldn't have the heart to shoot one. But you march out into the bog, you've got your shotgun there, and you try to get the ducks to suddenly take flight. Same sort of thing. I turn on the computer, wait for it to warm up, and then I see my targets, and I take shots at them. Then I'm shooting at them with, I don't know, an ideology that has been forged by my childhood, by my reading, by my life experiences, by my joys, my faults, my successes, all of those things. That's what I got in the gun. And I aim at the targets, and sometimes I hit them, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have moments of happiness, like, wow, that was a good segment. And other times, like, well, that's good enough, or at least we'll try even better the next day with our aim. But Sundays are different for me. I didn't intend for it to be this way. I didn't consciously set out to make Sundays different. It just seemed to work out this way. You see, on Sundays, I travel back from somewhere in the country. In fact, tonight I'll be on a plane, as long as the planes are not canceled. I'll be flying to Atlanta and then to Roanoke, and then I'll do an auction on Saturday. I'll get up early on Sunday morning and reverse the trip. I'll go back to Cle Elum, back to the barn, back from somewhere. And then Sunday is the day that we dance and sing. That's right, just dance and sing. It's normally an early dinner. We get high, and then we sing. I know I'm sure the Mormons don't necessarily like that. We get high on life. It all began with a purchase that I made, and I gave myself as Father's Day gift. I got a gigantic speaker that is so heavy, it has 2 wheels. It's 4.5 feet high. It lights up. It flashes lights. And it moves to the music. The lights do anyway. It also comes, if you wanted to spend the extra money, with 2 wireless microphones so you can sing along. It is the karaoke party machine for $1,400. I normally would not spend that kind of money on something like that. But I thought, you know what? Darn it, it's Father's Day and I deserve it. So I got one. Last weekend, I was traveling back from Lewiston, Idaho. And for some reason, I was just searching around on the internet. And I wrote in there, so why do people dance and sing? Why does it give you such a great feeling? Well, TED Talks popped up, of course, and then from university studies, a whole bunch of things regarding the brain and rhythm and all this other stuff. And then I see life is not a journey. It is music and a dance. I was like, what? I didn't expect that on my phone. So then I decided to read even further. And here is the quote. You don't dance to get to a final spot on the floor. We don't listen to music waiting for the last note. No one attends a concert only to hear the last crash of the cymbal. The best conductors are not those that conduct the fastest. Wait a minute, I thought to myself, how can life not be a journey? How dare someone utter such blasphemy? And there are bumper stickers and T-shirts. There are wooden signs that you could buy at the home store, discounted, that say life is a journey. And don't we all believe that life is a journey? So where did this come from? It came from a guy by the name of Alan Watts, who lived from 1914 to 1973. He was considered a key figure in the 1960s counterculture. He wrote 20 books, was known for his criticism of modern civilization. That would tell everybody that life is a journey. So here's what Watts says that life is. He says, when you look at life as a journey, as a final destination, a final mark to be completed, you are cheating yourself. It all starts when you are young. You go to kindergarten, then you move on to first grade and second grade. The journey continues through high school and college, and then maybe even more college as the journey then continues. You finally get the job, and then you get the sales quota, which is another journey for you. Maybe you're looking for that next career, that next move along your journey through life. And then it all comes to your retirement, where you sit down. You've completed the journey, and then maybe the next journey for you is when your family and friends haul you off to an old folks' home where you sit again. The journey can't continue because you're exhausted at this point. You're tired, and there's no more journeying for you. Now you just wait to pass away. So I thought, well, for some reason, Sundays have become the day for us to sing at the giant jukebox machine and sing and dance. And I do this with my slightly tone-deaf wife. And we don't dance with any particular place to end up. We don't wait for the song to get to the end. We torture it all the way through. And that is how we spend our Sundays. The most important day I have found, where it is not a journey, it's just in the moment of the song. It refreshes me to go back to my bog hunting, racing through airports for connections I may or might not make. And that's what makes my life so wonderful. Neil Diamond, please forgive us for what you are about to hear. I know you are in heaven somewhere with pants that don't fit. So here we are on our Sunday, singing and dancing. There you go. How's that?
Beautiful.
Questions, comments, concerns?
When did Neil Diamond die?
Oh, God, is he dead?
Well, I thought you said he was.
I think he is dead. He died a while ago. Quick, somebody look that up.
Oh.
Why?
Well,
The song had to come from me.
84 years old.
He's still alive?
Still alive, hanging in there.
You shoot. Sorry.
We will post this video later if you weren't watching the stream. You and Nick, your little love story is so beautiful. And you can tell so clearly how much you guys love each other. I've said it before, but you need to watch this video later.
Thank you. Sorry about that, Neil Diamond. I know he's not well. I know there's a Broadway. Yeah, I know. I think he has dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that. But wow. Okay, sorry.
He has Parkinson's disease.
He's Parkinson's? Okay, well, thank you. Boy, first I killed him, and then I gave him Alzheimer's, and
misdiagnosed him.
Then you came in with the diagnosis of Parkinson's. Anything else we can add to that?
The diagnosis came in 2018 when he retired from touring.
Okay, thank you.
That's what Google says.
Thank you for that. May he
now you know the rest of the story.
Maybe he live a long and blessed life. All right, let's do this. Nate's going to check traffic.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. Heavy rain soaking the afternoon drive across the region, so slow down. Make sure those headlights are on right now, and look out for standing water. We've had a number of water hazards show up in the past hour, mostly down south in Thurston County. Up in Snohomish County, we're dealing with this long-term closure westbound 2 at the State Route 204 interchange at the Trestle. So this crash is blocking all westbound lanes of Highway 2. You're backed up bumper to State Route 9, and this has northbound 9 packed between Snohomish and Lake Stevens. Westbound 204 drivers, you can still access the Trestle into Everett. Eastbound 2, the ramp to 204 into Lake Stevens just reopened after being closed for a good 90 minutes. This is expected to be a long-term closure. Bellevue to Everett has jumped to an hour 10 minutes. Seattle to Everett just hit 1 hour. Linwood to Seattle 35 minutes. And we just cleared our stall westbound 90 at Midspan. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear glasses or contacts anymore, you're concerned about maybe a cataract or two, you can do what I did, I don't know how many years ago it was, probably 5 years ago. I should probably check because I used to have a whole drawer full of glasses. I'd have ones to wear at night because I didn't see well, and then up close and a little further away. Just horrible eyes. And every time I go to the doctor, like at least once a year, well, you need another prescription. And it kept adding up. I thought there's got to be something else I could do. I found K2 Vision RLE. I met Dr. Kopstein there, and the first question I asked him was slightly uncomfortable. How many of these have you done? He said, I don't know, maybe 100,000? We talked about golf and a whole bunch of other stuff, and then I said, he goes, listen, don't get too excited. I might tell you to come back in 5, 10, or 15 years. I want to make this really excellent for you. I want the results to be perfect for you. So let's just wait. Let's just look at your eyes. He does, and he goes, man, your eyes are in bad shape. You get a little cataract in your right eye. We'll take care care of that. So I signed up. 5 minutes in one eye, 5 on the other. I go back the next day. I got 20/20 vision. I don't need glasses anymore. No contacts, no readers, none of that. I got 20/20 vision, and I'm 63 years old. You check them out. If you don't want to wear glasses and contacts, you're over the age of 50, K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Another round of ballots in. Where do the races stand?
We'll have the latest on the general election.
From scrappy experiment to global utility, we chat with the co-founder of Wikipedia about his 7 rules of trust.
And Peanut and Bo from the hilarious musical Shucked at the Paramount tell us what it's like to be part of a brand new show.
Join us tomorrow from 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. We should know by tomorrow if fewer flights will be coming in and out of SeaTac airports. FAA plans to reduce air traffic by 10% because of the government shutdown. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the decision will affect 40 high-volume markets.
We are working with the airlines. They're going to work with passengers. But in the end, our sole role is to make sure that we keep this airspace as safe as possible.
Air traffic controllers have been working without pay for more than a month, and call-outs are on the rise. People in need of food were back at the Tacoma Dome today for another food giveaway. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha was there.
Andrea Blue is running this food giveaway. She knows the need is dire and people are hungry and desperate.
It's been very difficult to see people desperate in crisis and not knowing when their next meal is going to come.
It's helping people like Cheyenne Carnegie, who got here before 7 a.m.
Food is getting so expensive, and now with food stamps being cut off due to the government shutdown, everybody is hurting.
SNAP recipients are set to receive partial benefits this month, but it is not clear when. U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments today on whether President Trump can unilaterally impose tariffs under a 1977 emergency powers law. Former Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna telling Seattle's Morning News the case could redefine executive authority.
You know, the statute is broad and appears to give the president a lot of discretion.
Lower courts already rejected that authority, but kept the tariffs in place. Washington state flags are flying at half-staff to honor former Vice President Dick Cheney, who died Monday at the age of 84. Governor Ferguson says flags will remain lowered until the day of the former VP's interment. That date has not yet been set. A strike is set for next week among Starbucks union members unless the company can finalize a labor contract. The walkout is set for November 13th on the company's Red Cup Day, typically one of Starbucks' busiest days of the year.
There's a lot of layoffs that just happened at Starbucks, and we're not happy.
Union claims contract negotiations have stalled after CEO Brian Niccol took over last year. A Starbucks spokesperson says the company is ready to talk. Now to the real-time traffic desk. It's 3:32. Here's Nate Connors.
It's a tough commute out there, Aaron. In the Everett area, we're dealing with this long-term collision at the trestle. Westbound 2 at the 204 interchange just crashed, blocks all westbound lanes of Highway 2. You cannot access the trestle westbound, and you're backed up bumper to bumper to State Route 9. This has northbound 9 packed between Snohomish and Lake Stevens. Westbound 204 drivers, you still have access to the trestle into Everett. Now, eastbound 2, the ramp to 204 just reopened about a half hour ago, and this closure is expected to be long-term. Bellevue to Everett's going to take an hour, 10 minutes. It's solid from Bellevue all the way to Alderwood. Seattle to Everett just hit 1 hour, but if you want to take the backup, it really starts from the north end of Boeing Field and is solid all the way to Linwood. Tack on another 20 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. Big backups through Linwood, and then you're solid from 145th and Shoreline all the way to the West Seattle Bridge, and it gets really thick in the U District. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is a 50-minute drive. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Some downpours tonight, breezy as well, with a chance for some isolated thunderstorms tonight. Some more rain tomorrow, drying out by Friday afternoon. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
How's Neil Diamond doing? Just checking again.
Still touring.
No. Yes. He is?
He is.
Wow, came back from the dead.
Love that.
Home Comfort Alliance, when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, there's only one place to call. That's Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com. At www. You used to say that?
I do.
We had to go to a class, and what year was that? I was working in broadcasting, and they were all working. Okay, everybody, it's www. It's a W. It's really important when we say that on the air. You're going to be seeing this a lot. So when you do give someone's on the internet's www ://. Do we have to say all this? Yes, it's very important. HTTP : www. Home Comfort Alliance. All right.
Are you on the internet? Isn't that for techno geeks with spreadsheets?
Yes, it is. All right, this day in history. Here we go. WWW. 1872, Susan B. Anthony casts a vote and is arrested.
Oh.
Come on, Susan.
Hey, right?
Don't worry. We're going to make a coin that no one's going to want with your name on it. 1912, Woodrow Wilson wins in a landslide victory. What a horrible, racist, awful human being that guy was. Suffered a stroke, but nobody cared. Nobody said anything. And Edith was like in there running the country, I think, for like 8 months or something.
That's right. She had the door blocked.
First movie ever watched at the White House. Woodrow Wilson. Come on, Andrew, you know this one. Come on.
Gone with the Wind.
Mm-mm. What was it, Andrew? You had it.
Birth of a Nation.
There you go. Racist. 1916, the Everett Massacre. 1940, FDR, who started socialism in the country, reelected for a third term. 3 terms. How do you do that? And then they came up with an amendment to the Constitution to stop that. 1941, the order is given to bomb Pearl Harbor. In 1968, Richard Nixon is elected president. And a landslide, by the way. All right, let's do this one because it's local. So it was 1916 in Everett. You know, Everett was founded as a city in 1893. It was a blue-collar town. There was mostly a mill town. When I mean mills, I mean gigantic saw blades, 4 feet around with huge razor-sharp teeth. On average, let's see, I forget how many people would die every single year. 15% of the deaths were occurring in 1909 in these mills. The wooden floor of these mills in Everett were stained with old blood from people losing fingers. Arms and legs would be sawed off. In fact, if you were to shake somebody's hand in Everett, like say 20 or 30 years ago, a pretty good chance when you go to shake the guy's hand, he might be missing a few fingers. So in 1912, the population is about 25,000, and there's about 25 different unions there in Everett and across the United States. But then the Wobblies, WOBBLES, which are part of the International Workers of the World, what they wanted was, they said, hey, skilled and unskilled, let's just be one giant union, and then they have to negotiate with us as one big union, as opposed to trying to pick us apart and have one union here, or maybe you have one union go against another union. So the Wobblies come in there, and in September and October, they went into the streets of Everett, and they were marching around and, exercising their First Amendment right, and a whole bunch of people came down to town and beat the living dickens and daylights out of them. In fact, a couple of guys were just, beaten to a pulp, and then they had no way getting home. They had to walk 25 miles all the way back to Seattle. That must have been quite uncomfortable for all of them.
And they had the sheriff was part of the anti-union contingent.
Yes, you're talking about Sheriff McCrae, aren't you? Yeah. So then on November 5th or 4th, rumors spread, 5th, the rumors spread that the Wobblies were coming to town on a boat, and they were going to be taken over, and they're going to burn the whole town down. So we got to do something about that. So 200 armed deputy sheriffs or citizen deputies and Sheriff McCrae, who you just mentioned, are waiting for them. So the boat rolls in. It's a steamboat, and it's about 150 of the Wobblies on there. And McCrae says, who's your leader? Or he would be Southern me. Who's your leader? And they go, we're all leaders. He's like, well, that can't be. And with that, a shot rings out. Now, nobody knows where the shot came from. Did it come from the dock, or did it come from the boat? Nobody knows. But that, oh boy, 150 rounds are fired into the pilot house. And a bunch of the guys, once the bullets started flying, 150 of these guys, these Wobblies, they all run to the other side of the boat. It almost capsizes. The captain of the ship, who's been shot, reaches up and grabs the controls and slowly backs the steamship out of there and survives. Well, I think altogether they think about 12. They're not sure how many the Wobblies were killed because they ended up getting their bodies that were on the shore. They weighted them down and they rowed them out into the water and then sunk them so that nobody would know that they were there. And that was the great massacre there in Everett in 1916.
Wow.
Yes. There you go. And now you know the rest of the story.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Do we know if they ever, the union ever got
For a brief time, it was successful from 1910 to about 1920s, and then it just sort of fell apart. But they were also considered to be communists. The big thing that they were doing is like, don't waste your time thinking there's a heaven. You know, you can cry all you want to Jesus, but, you know, this is it on the earth. And the reason they really couldn't get a lot of other people to get on board with them is because a lot of people that were in the Union, especially the Irish that were parts of the Union, they were very religious. And these guys were like, no religion, no how. We don't believe in any of that stuff. It's here on earth. Get what you can right now. And they were also connected to the Communist Party because of that philosophy, whether they were directly connected or not directly connected. It kind of sunk their ship, so to speak. Okay.
Other fun fact, nobody actually ended up getting charged for any of those murders.
Oh.
A couple of arrests, but they let everybody go.
Let's get Sheriff McRae on the phone, see what he has to say for himself. Yeah.
Got some splaining to do.
Yeah, that old thing like, they're coming to town and they're going to burn the whole town down. That's enough to motivate everybody, right? Here they come now.
It's rage bait.
Yes, exactly. You were responding to a bunch of rumors. Imagine that. All right. Don't forget the update for everybody if you care. It seems like you don't care. Because what was the turnout?
Oof.
43 people?
Something like that. Very low.
That should tell us here at KIRO. Stick around. We'll tell you who's going to win. It's like people are like, I don't care. 80% of the people or 70% of the people didn't bother voting. It's going to be low. It's going to be about 36%.
It's among the low. 45 expected, but it's going to be one of the lowest on record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then you wonder, why is that? Are people just burned out on politics? Nothing can be done? Pox on both their houses?
I don't know. I couldn't imagine anywhere making it easier to vote.
Yeah, so we will tell you winners and losers. You know who the losers are. They were everybody we've had on the show. Except for one guy, or the guy in Linwood who came on. Yeah.
Bryce Owings.
Who 5 years ago or something strangled his wife and then was dealing with drugs and a whole bunch of other stuff. But then he ran against another guy who was just making up crap about his resume.
Yes,
but
and Bryce got sober, turned his life around, still with his wife, so they patched things up.
Yep, spending most of his time, with his kids and his wife and working on his guitar lessons. Okay, let's go over to Nate, checking traffic. Nathan, let's do it.
Thank you, John. In the Everett area, we've got a long-term collision at the Trestle. It's westbound 2 at the 204 interchange, and all westbound lanes of Highway 2 are blocked there. And you're bumper to bumper to State Route 9. This is going to be a long-term closure. Bellevue to Everett is an hour 10 minutes. Pretty solid from Bellevue all the way to Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, an hour and 20 minutes if you count the backup, and you should, because it is solid from the north end of Boeing Field all the way through Linwood. You'll catch a little break, and then North 5 solid again from the Boeing Freeway up to Highway 2 in Everett. Altogether, that's a 30-mile backup. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. Big backups through Linwood, solid from 145th all the way to the West Seattle Bridge. And in Fife, we've got a new collision, North 5 just past Porter Way. It's blocking 2 left lanes. You're backed up to 54th. Tacoma to Olympia, 55 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you've got a bad shoulder or an elbow or ankle or wrist, or the doctor says to you, or you like to say to people, man, my knees are bone on bone, or your hip is bone on bone, and you're facing the idea that you have to go to surgery, and you're thinking, oh my God, what is that going to be like? Is it going to fix my pain? Am I going to be okay? Hold on a second. Before you go under the knife, check out stem cell procedures. And then while you're searching there, I'll make it really easy for you. Do what I do. Go right to Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. And you'll see that he's done 20,000 of these stem cell procedures. You go to his office over there in Seattle, and there's all sorts of athletes that have their names on their photos of, I'm assuming, patients of Dr. Mark Wagner. I was like, man, I am in good company here. If these athletes that are getting paid for the strength and the flexibility of their body are seeing Dr. Mark Wagner, I'm going to do stem cell, because I got a really bad hip. I was looking at surgery, and then I thought, nope, I'm going to do stem cell surgery. And man, oh man, it's the best. It's been about 4 weeks. I feel great. If you have got a bad hip or wrist or shoulder, or you've got the bone-on-bone problem, check out Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Another round of ballots in. Where do the races stand?
We'll have the latest on the general election.
From scrappy experiment to global utility, we chat with the co-founder of Wikipedia about his 7 rules of trust.
And Peanut and Bo from the hilarious musical Shucked at the Paramount tell us what it's like to be part of a brand new show.
Join us tomorrow from 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
A blown left headlight is making Erica's drive to her son's soccer game darker and darker. So she goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Where a friendly AutoZoner finds her 2 new bulbs.
These lights have the most clarity.
And helps her get back on the road so she can brighten her drive and the cheering section.
All right, all right.
See clearer and drive safer with new lights. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
All right, if you are ever in Norm Feigenbohl's house there in California, and you happen to notice there's socks hanging up on the wall, framed, you could ask Norm the story and he'll tell you this.
Did you think you would see her again?
No, after several days, I really thought she was gone. The house was barren without her.
Sonny was missing for nearly 2 weeks after Norm left his Los Angeles home to go grocery shopping.
Sonny was his beloved dog.
In one day,
she jumped the block wall fence in the back and tried to follow me to the grocery store.
The volunteers at a nonprofit called Dog Days Search and Rescue got a call from a woman who saw Sonny in a nature preserve a mile away.
There's no water. There's coyotes. We knew she was on borrowed time at that point.
So they sprung into action, working to get permission to set up a few traps in the preserve.
The whole thing is probably due to my smelly socks, actually.
Using a trail of Norm's pungent but familiar garments, Justice says it only took a half hour before Sonny was lured into the trap and the door closed.
Thank God you smelly socks, Norm.
Yeah, I'm not going to wash them. I'm going to put them in a frame and hang them on the wall.
That's why they're going to be framed on the wall. The little dog that he got is a rescue dog. How old was 4 months?
7
4 years? 7 years old.
Lab.
Sweetest pictures of him. Yeah, what they did is they took a whole trail of socks. They made they put one sock, they walk about 10 or 15 feet, put another one. The dog just smelled the socks, kept walking along until finally, I guess they put a whole pile of socks plus some food inside the trap. Dog walks right in, trap drops down, saved the dog, got the dog.
30 minutes after they put the trap out.
Yeah, that could have gone. Sad thing is, for about a week, he didn't think he'd ever see his dog again. So he's having friends put up posters all over the place. 93-year-old companion missing. Please let me know. Don't chase the dog. Oh. Yeah, that's a good story. Yeah, you ever see those pictures of those dogs, like a lost cat or something on a telephone pole? Just breaks your heart when you see those things. Sometimes I think, if I had time, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to go find that cat. And then I just keep driving. like if you really just had some time to dedicate your life to tracking down the dog, cats would be so much harder to find.
We saw a dog, a husky, right out here near the station when I was leaving work one day, and no leash, just kind of walking around, and we didn't think much of it. And then a block later, we saw a guy, looking for his dog. Yeah. So we decided to help. 3 hours later, we finally helped this guy corral the dog. But yeah, it's a commitment. It's not easy.
No, we were traveling. Paul and I were traveling from Grand Junction to Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. I was in a 62 Volkswagen. She was in her Topaz. And Toonsis, our cat, was with me whenever I'd slow down below 60 miles an hour, which was quite often in that old Volkswagen. The cat would go, meow, 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 meow. He didn't like going slow. We opened the door. We were in Kansas City somewhere, and she jumped out. I was like, oh, my God, where's the cat? We're in some neighborhood. I'm trying to find, and all of a sudden, meow, meow, meow. There she is. She was under somebody's deck. So I'm crawling. I don't know anybody. We're just trying to make it to Champaign-Urbana. And I reach out and I crawl and I Toonsis, come here. I grab her here and pull her slide her out of there. What are you doing? Get back on the car.
Come on, Toonsis.
Come on, Toonsis, the driving cat. She would put her paws up on the steering wheel of the old Volkswagen and just look out the window the whole time while I'm driving.
Having her mind blown.
It shows you how poor you are when you could put everything you own in the back of a Mercury Topaz. Because nothing fit in the Volkswagen. So we were in Grand Junction, moving to Champaign-Urbana with a Mercury Topaz and a Volkswagen.
That's a good feeling.
And a cat. And the back seat of the Volkswagen was the litter box. All of my possessions, yeah. Living free and easy. All right, Nate's checking traffic for everybody else trying to be free and easy. Nathan?
All right, it is a tough commute out there. Rain and heavy at times for most of everyone out there. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 10 minutes. Seattle to Everett, an hour, 20 with a solid backup from the Michigan curve through Linwood. You catch a little break in South Everett, then North 5 heavy in Everett again from the Boeing Freeway up to Highway 42. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. It's solid from Shoreline all the way down to the West Seattle Bridge. Out in Westgate, westbound 90 at Eastgate, westbound 90 at Eastgate Way, a collision blocks 2 right exit lanes, partially blocking the exit. You can still take the exit. And North 5 and Fife, just past Porter Way, this collision still blocks 2 left lanes. You're backed up to the Puyallup River Bridge. Tacoma to Federal Way is a 35-minute drive. That there is a 20-minute delay. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. The nicotine in e-cigarettes is addictive and can harm brain development. That's why I worry about teens who try e-cigarettes. Many young people use pod-based e-cigarettes like Juul, which have high levels of nicotine. And because teens' brains are still developing, they can quickly become addicted. The tobacco industry uses fruit and candy flavors to attract young people, often turning them into lifelong users. For more, visit healthychildren.org.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Do you ever lose your balance or feel dizzy for no apparent reason? Do you hear ringing in your ears or have migraines? These are all signs you could have a problem with your inner ear or vestibular system. To learn more, call the Vestibular Disorders Helpline at 800-837-8428. That's 800-837-8428. Sponsored by the Vestibular Disorders Association.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, and your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Shut down air traffic reductions.
It means that people's flights are going to be getting canceled.
More deaths after UPS plane crash.
I'm declaring a state of emergency.
Supreme Court considers sweeping Trump tariffs.
It's a congressional power, not a presidential power to tax.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Heads up, air travelers at some airports starting Friday.
There is going to be a 10% reduction in capacity at 40 of our locations.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says it's to maintain safety during the government shutdown, now the longest in U.S. history at 36 days. Major airline captain Laura Einsettler.
Our job is to be, our safety is our priority. So we need to make sure at all times, in all circumstances, we are flying everyone safely to where they want to go.
The agency is confronting staffing shortages caused by air traffic controllers who are working unpaid, resulting in delays across the country. The Kentucky governor's office confirms at least 12 people have died after yesterday's fiery crash of a UPS cargo plane shortly after takeoff from that city's airport. Federal investigators are now on the scene. NTSB member Todd Inman says the plane's 2 black boxes have been found and sent to D.C. Also,
we have viewed airport CCTV security coverage, which shows the left engine detaching from the wing during the takeoff roll.
Governor Andy Beshear has declared a state of emergency.
It allows us to move resources more quickly through emergency management and the Kentucky National Guard. It allows state resources to be used also through our agencies to be readily available.
The Supreme Court has heard arguments on whether President Trump legally used emergency powers to impose tariffs on more than 100 countries.
Most of the justices seem skeptical of Trump's use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEPA. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson.
As I understand it, that the IEPA was designed and intended to limit presidential authority.
Solicitor General D. John Sauer argued for the administration.
IEPA confers major powers to address major problems on the president, who is perhaps the most major actor in the realm of foreign affairs.
The court's questioning raises doubts about the centerpiece of Trump's economic agenda. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In a video message posted to Truth Social, President Trump reiterates,
because of other countries' testing programs, I've instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. That process will begin immediately.
A federal judge orders authorities to improve conditions at an ICE facility in suburban Chicago after a group of detainees sue, alleging they were kept in inhumane conditions. Stocks rose on Wall Street. Now this.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
A breakthrough in a decades-old cold case coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, this report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino in the Everett area. We've got a long-term closure at the Trestle, westbound 2 at 204. All westbound lanes are blocked of Highway 2 from this, again, long-term crash. You're backed up bumper to bumper to State Route 9. This has northbound 9 packed between Snohomish and Lake Stevens. This is expected to be a long-term closure with no estimated time to reopen as of yet. Bellevue to Everett has climbed a bit to hour 15-minute commute now. Pretty solid from Bellevue all the way into Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, an hour 20 minutes. That's if you count the backup starting at the Michigan Curve all the way into Linwood. You'll start to thin out a little bit in North Linwood and South Everett, but then solid again from the Boeing Freeway up to Highway 2. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. You're backed up through Linwood, and then solid from Northgate now down to the West Seattle Bridge. Out in Eastgate, we just cleared that collision westbound 90 at Eastgate Way. And in Fife, we still have this collision north 5 just past Porter Way. It's blocking 2 left lanes. Your bumper to bumper to the Puyallup River Bridge. Tacoma to Federal Way has a 20-minute delay. Comedian Tom Segura is back November 29th at the Emerald Queen Casino. Get ready for another night of nonstop laughs only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. A Seattle mother's prayers are finally answered 30 years later as a man is arrested in her daughter's death. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports that suspect chose not to show up in court today.
Tanya Frazier was just 14 years old in 1994 when she was abducted while walking from Meany Middle School and killed. Now, 3 decades later, her 57-year-old suspected killer sits behind bars at the King County Jail. DNA led to his arrest, but SPD Chief Sean Barnes insists no case is ever cold.
Cold case is an outdated term. Maybe it plays for the television cameras or for Hollywood, but for us, no case ever grows cold.
The judge found probable cause for first-degree murder and ordered him held without bail. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
New election results just came down. They show Mayor Bruce Harrell in Seattle's lead is growing slightly. He's now up about 8 points over Katie Wilson. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports it's still too close to call.
Democratic strategist Kathy Allen says Wilson's lack of management and budget experience gave Harrell an early 7-point lead.
I think Bruce has enough to be able to hold on.
However, with less than 25% of ballots in, some analysts caution the last votes counted traditionally favor progressives like Wilson. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
And also looking through some new results right now for executive Gurmai Zahalai's lead. It also grew. He's up about 2 points now over Claudia Balducci. Meantime, we know some new faces are coming to Seattle City Hall. City Council President Sarah Nelson is losing her seat to Dion Foster, a former senior policy advisor for the city. Initial returns now showing Foster with about 60% of the vote.
I was really excited with the results. I think I didn't have a particular, number in mind last night. I was mostly just proud of the campaign that we ran.
And Nelson says she's not sure what she will do once she leaves office. Again, results are coming in as we speak. We will keep you posted as the night goes on. It was a bittersweet feeling for the Seahawks' new wide receiver, Rashid Shaheed. Says he was sad to leave his teammates in New Orleans, but excited to join a contender in Seattle.
So I know it's a winning organization, and that's what matters the most in this league, and just excited to be a part of it and get to know the guys, the coaches, and just get acclimated with the culture around here.
Hawks traded for Shaheed yesterday, giving up 2 picks in next year's draft. Weather is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy and soggy for tonight. More rain and wind come tomorrow and then drying out by Friday afternoon. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
After last night's results, the decision facing all Americans could not be more clear. We have a choice between communism and Common sense. Does that make sense to you? Common sense. It's common sense or communism.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Wow. Time out of his busy evening to let us know that. That's good. Good. Is there a number? Does the number show up where it comes from? Are we able to call that number back or no? Is that blocked?
It's a blocked number.
We get Jack Smith to do a subpoena and try to get that from AT&T or Verizon. Time in the news. There we go. Bill Kerr. Oh, a popular guest on the show. There he is. Hey, Mr. Kirk.
Hey,
from Washington Gun Law. All right, so, boy, you got a lot on your plate here. There's a man who's facing 2 felony charges. I think he's in the old Gray Bar Hotel right now because he sent a series of emails, right? These were not written letters. He sent a series of emails or somehow tweets. I'm sorry, tweets.
Yeah.
He tweeted a whole bunch of stuff to the governor, to Bob Ferguson. What were some of those tweets that he sent to Bob that it seemed to be such a problem?
I'm coming for your lunch money. I'm going to make you cry. You're a criminal, and we're going to treat you like one. Took pictures of Governor Ferguson's front door to his personal residence, circulated that. Posted pictures of his of an AR-15, and then questioned the integrity of Governor Ferguson's security detail. Was talked to about this by the State Patrol. They kind of had a little private conversation, told them to simmer down in March of 2024, and it simmered down for a while, but then things really escalated once Bob Ferguson became governor-elect, and it ultimately resulted in him being booked on 2 felony counts and sitting in the Pierce County Jail on $200,000 bail right now.
Now, Mr. Kirk, you normally handle stories regarding gun laws and the Second Amendment and stuff like that, but why does this one sort of pique your interest?
Well, it piqued my interest for a couple of reasons. This is not the first incident of somebody reacting to bad politics in a horrible way. And it struck me because, here's an individual who may think that he and I see the world the same way, but the way that he's choosing to do this is rather than be critical of the policy and the manner in which they govern, he's making threats to obviously the governor's home. And the last time I checked, I believe Governor Ferguson has a teenage daughter. I know he's very proud of her. He posts regularly about her accomplishments as an athlete. And I just think that the families of these politicians are absolutely off limits. Doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're coming from, but the making threats to the politicians and in particular to their families is deplorable behavior and can't be tolerated.
You had said in one of your posts that you think that the lawmakers should update the statute. There are 30 different definitions when it comes to threats. What would you want them to do? Get in there and add an addendum somewhere?
The problem is that of the 2 felonies that he's been charged with, one is threats to governor and family. And that statute appears to have been drafted around 1982 with maybe a little dust up in 2011. And it clearly requires that you drop something in the mail or use the postal system to send threats to the governor and his family. So there may be a technical defense on that. As far as intimidation of a public servant, which is also a Class B felony, no, I think that statute is very all-encompassing and it encapsulates a lot of different activities. And if the allegations, and again, they are only allegations, but if the allegations were proven to be true, yeah, I think it would fall under intimidation of a public servant.
I've watched a lot of your videos there at Washington Gun Law, and you don't normally swear, but at the end of the thing... and you beeped it out. Yeah, because the point you're trying to make at the end to this guy, and it was you also did not say his name, although you have his name.
Well, it's all over every story. The article's out there. Anyone could probably Google his name in about 5 seconds.
And you're not. And unfortunately, it's not just this guy. There are other people that have the same sort of mindset. And you look directly into the camera. You dropped a little dirty word in there, but you wanted to say to this guy and to anybody else that wants to take this tact, you warn them.
Yeah, it's not the right way to do it. It demeans any message that we have. The truth of the matter is we have, I believe, at least, we have common sense. We have the Constitution on our side. We have the facts on our side. And that's what we should rely upon. And I know it can be very infuriating. And there's nothing wrong. There are times where I'm about to reply to something on social media and I sit there and I'm like, I'm going to sit on that for about 5 minutes before I hit send. And then instead of hitting send, what do? I hit delete. Sometimes that can be therapeutic, but we've got to think before we act. And this demeans the message. It threatens people that do not deserve to be threatened, and it's contrary to how our system of justice and system of political system is supposed to work in this country.
Yeah, I guess the thing is the old adage: if they go low, we go high, right? I mean, if you don't want to go back to the 1850s where you had pro-slave Democrats, burning down the houses of abolitionists.
Well, at a time when we clearly have one side of the political spectrum that is embracing and celebrating political violence, I don't believe the other side of the political spectrum should be doing the same things.
Yeah. The other story that caught your eye, which, by the way, interestingly enough, according to the New York Times, this is a little while ago, New York Times says the FBI investigation took normal bureaucratic steps and precautions when opening extraordinary sensitive inquiry into Mr. Trump's attempts to overturn the election. End quote, and pretty much end of story. But I'm talking about Arctic frost, and you won't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, no one has talked about Arctic frost, but it's an extraordinary story.
It is an extraordinary story, and for anyone on the political left that wants to complain about potential weaponization of the government, look no further than Arctic frost, a point to where we were actually subpoenaing the phone records of, I believe it was 13 senators and 1 representative. And then the thing that really caught my attention is these articles of impeachment that Representative Brandon Gill has filed against Judge Boasberg out there in the D.C. Circuit Court. Listen, we can get into the numerical value of the votes you need, and he's probably not going to get where he needs to get with it. But what I found interesting is that Judge Boasberg had signed all of these orders that would order the cell phone companies not to disclose to the Sergeant of Arms of the U.S. Senate plus the staffs that they were requesting these records. The problem is that there is a statute, 2 United States Code 6628, specifically subsection C, that says that is absolutely positively legally prohibited to do that by any judicial order either. So knowing that Judge Boasberg's been on the bench for a while and he's abundantly familiar with federal law as a federal judge, he apparently signed orders that were in violation of federal law. That's an abuse of power, abuse of discretion, and that is grounds for impeachment under articles of impeachment. Will they get the 67 votes necessary in the Senate? No, not a chance in hell.
There were more than 400 Republicans, conservative individuals, entities that were included in the probe of Arctic frost. They went and looked at Charlie Kirk's records. They asked for those from Turning Point, as well as Republican Attorney Generals Association, political action committees. And then here's the way it was described. This is on October 30th this year.
Republicans on Capitol Hill said the Biden Justice Department went much further than previously known while investigating alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. That probe, known as Operation Arctic Frost. Senator Chuck Grassley today made public 197 subpoenas from then special counsel Jack Smith and his team. The subpoenas made their way to Grassley through unnamed whistleblowers. He says the subpoenas requested testimony, financial records, donor fundraising, and other communications with 430 named Republican individuals and entities. The list includes the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and daughter-in-law, Laura Trump.
Contrary to what Smith has said publicly, this was clearly a fishing expedition.
Brett, as part of his probe, several Republican senators say their phone calls were spied on and their phones were tapped.
Yeah, the phones weren't actually tapped, but what Smith was asking AT&T and Verizon to do, show us when the phone calls were made and who were the phone calls made to. So they were getting that.
Yeah.
And he told them, don't tell anybody. Don't tell Verizon, don't tell anybody that we're looking into this, and said the same thing to AT&T. AT&T looked at it, went to their lawyers and said, should we comply? And they said, no, we're not going to comply, because you can squash these things if you want. But Verizon, on the other hand, turned over all the records as Jack Smith was looking into this Arctic frost. This thing has basically been ignored. I can't find it anywhere. It's a big story.
And the one thing I would say beyond what Senator Grassley said is it wasn't a fishing expedition. This was like going out and casting a wide gill net and just seeing what you could pull in. I mean, this was amazing. I mean, you take a look at, and this is, again, starts with what? Alleged election denial. And now we have, 400-something subpoenas going out to not only just elected officials, but all sorts of organizations, everything, just throwing a gill net out there just to see what you can get.
Do you think the reason stories like this don't get any traction, like the other story that has also been, kicking around, is the auto pen and all the pardons and then all of Biden's staff that has been deposed recently? Those stories just don't go anywhere. But, Bill, they don't go anywhere because there's so much other news that's spinning at the top. You know what I mean? There's just no way everybody can consume all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's partially true, and there's also a prioritization by mainstream media as to what what should we be educating the public about. I read all 100 pages of the Biden auto pen report. I've been thinking about doing a video on it or something like that, but it would take forever. But the first 80 pages is all about the deterioration of President Biden himself and the massive cover-up that went with it. The last 20 pages gets to the actual act of the pardon process.
Yeah, but I guess it's one of these things. Well, that's so because the speed of news today, that's so old news. Like Biden, who is that? Oh, I think he was one of our presidents, right? It's like we're moving on. We've got the Supreme Court going to rule whether or not these tariffs are legal. We're going to talk about the airports being shut down. We're going to talk about historic closing of the federal government. Those stories are at the very top. The rest of the stuff is just sort of a tributary of stories. And besides, what does it matter? He's out of office now. Who cares, right?
Well, and then the manner in which most people consume their news, they're not going to sit down and read a 100-page report, right? They want to get something in 5 to 10 seconds. Let me skim the headline, and that's the narrative, and I'll go with it.
Right.
And that's the way news is consumed nowadays, too.
Right. And then there's also the whataboutism. Well, Trump's doing this. Well, what about that? And I always think that so many of these stories are always under how the journalists cover it and the way it is consumed. It's, by any means necessary, right? That things are so bad, the ends justify the means.
Was on display last night because you saw a governor-elect in New Jersey, a governor-elect in Virginia, and a mayor-elect in New York City basically get up and say this is all about resisting Trump.
Right. Right, so you run against, and I think. Do you think some of the votes that came in here in Seattle and around the Northwest were also anti-Trump votes?
Well, I mean, if you take a look at President Trump's performance at 3 elections out here, the state is very largely anti-Trump. So I think you're going to get that organically. I think the local elections definitely demonstrated a shift in what I would see as going back in the wrong direction here in King County and Seattle.
Yeah, and I think you could point to, well, we need to build the wall higher because we've got Trump who's going to possibly come in. So let's move further and further to the left. If we move it anywhere in the direction of the right, we're moving towards Donald Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
So whataboutism?
Yep.
And that's listen, sometimes that's the only message you got when your policies are abject failures and demonstrable failures. That might be the only thing you have to talk about.
You want to get down on the record here as your predictions whether or not Bruce Harrell will win or Katie Wilson?
I think Bruce Harrell's going to win. I don't know if when they say that all these late votes come in are usually uber progressive. I actually think that those votes have a tendency to come in early. I think that he'll probably win by the margin he's at or maybe slightly more. But again, it's, that's like getting to choose between getting punched in the mouth or, kicked in the groin. So that's the options in Seattle this year.
Okay, Bill, but given the choice between the two.
Yes, given a choice, yeah. Yeah, Bruce Harrell is much more like
in the groin or the mouth, Bill. The groin or mouth is, you did like.
Bruce Harrell's more like a punch in the mouth. That one hurts for a while. The kick in the groin hurts for a lot longer. So that's more of a. Yeah.
Okay, got it. They can have long-term effects upon you. The rest of you, Dennis could take care of. All right, Mr. Kirk, appreciate it. Always your insight in what you cover and how you cover it is always something to be commended. Thank you, Mr. Kirk.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
There he goes, out the door. All right. We got it, covered all that? Wow, a lot of stuff.
Covered a lot.
Yeah, we did get a lot. Normally you stick just to guns and stuff, guns and bullets.
Yeah, but he's a lawyer. He's got his
brain
that's right,
on everything. Yeah, that's right, because last time we talked to him, I said, well, hey, do I hear an ambulance you need to chase? I don't think he appreciated that.
He's not an ambulance.
No, come on that. By the way, there's so many. Speaking of chasing, you can always follow us because we do have a hard time for people possibly knowing where we are.
Wow, is this about to happen?
What do you mean?
You're really going to promote one of our social media platforms?
Yes. I don't have the piece of paper in front of me. I'm just assuming.
Mark the time.
Yep.
Oh, what time is it? It's 4:22.
Sophia, you're under the age of 80. What is it again?
Instagram?
Yeah, what is it?
It is J Curley Show.
No,
The
that's
J-
Twitter. It's the
See, I
John
can't-
Curley Show.
I'm sorry. See, I can't be held accountable.
Okay.
But you can also
Heard it,
find.
move on.
But I will say the video of you, Nicole, singing is up on KIRO Newsradio's Instagram right now.
Is that news? Okay, KIRO Newsradio.
It is news.
Yep. Okay, fine. And then it's always weird that Joe goes, put that up, people watch that. I'm like, I don't know, me surprising a lady at her house in Suncadia? Like, put it up. People want to see whatever it is. I'm like, I can't, really? People are going to watch that?
50,000 already.
50,000.
Crazy. That nice Kathy, she swore.
Yeah, she was a potty mouth.
It's just in people like profanity.
Apparently that's what it is. All right, what the hell? Let's go over and check with Nate over there, checking traffic. Nathan!
All right, John, Home Comfort Alliance has the update. We cleared that collision westbound 2 at the State Route 204 interchange at the Trestle in Everett. So all lanes are open. Westbound 2 has cleared out from State Route 9 up to the Trestle as well. The Trestle itself is thinning out in both directions. Northbound 9 remains packed for a couple miles, though, between Snohomish and Lake Stevens, but all of this is clearing out pretty quickly. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 15. Seattle to Everett, an hour 10. Linwood to Seattle has spiked to 1 hour. You've got that typical couple mile back up through Linwood, and then you're solid from Northgate Way all the way to the West Seattle Bridge. Southbound 99 is packed from the Zoo all the way down onto East Marginal Way. In Tukwila, southbound I-5, your exit to Interurban Avenue is blocked right now for standing water. And in Fife, we still have this collision. North 5 just past Porter Way. It's blocking 2 left lanes. You're now bumper to bumper to 705. Tacoma to Federal Way is a 50-minute commute, a 35-minute delay. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, I have been a patient at Longevity Medical Clinic since 2009. I wasn't feeling so well. I had just finished running a big race, and I was like, geez, I'm having trouble sleeping. I couldn't gain weight. I was all stressed out. I thought, maybe I just overexerted myself. And so I thought, from a friend of mine said, he goes to Longevity Medical Clinic. Maybe he got some sort of hormone problem. So I sat down with Dr. Mixon, and he said, what'd you do? I said, I ran an Ironman. He goes, oh, good. So he writes down the numbers, and he goes, I'm going to guess these are what your numbers are. And this is going to be your estrogen level. It's going to be testosterone level. Let's do a blood draw and have you come back a week later. And sure enough, when the results came up on his computer, he swung the computer around. He goes, there, what did I tell you? And that was almost exactly what the numbers were. Because he knows, he has been studying, Dr. Mixon has been studying science and understanding longevity and the effects of life on your body. He knows that nobody ages gracefully. And Longevity Medical Clinic for 25 years have been the pioneers of longevity. And now you're seeing all these other Johnny-come-latelys jumping in there telling, oh, you can live a longer life. We can help you there. I thought, why not go with the guy that's been doing it longer and better than anybody else, extending lives and giving people all the energy that they need as they head into another year of life. You can take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Another round of ballots in. Where do the races stand?
We'll have the latest on the general election.
From scrappy experiment to global utility, we chat with the co-founder of Wikipedia about his 7 rules of trust.
And Peanut and Bo from the hilarious musical Shucked at the Paramount tell us what it's like to be part of a brand new show.
Join us tomorrow from 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Once again, homeowners have voted Valentine Roofing the best roofing company in the Pacific Northwest. That makes 3 years running.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. That's why I was confident when that red Valentine van pulled up to my house, I was going to get the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and a team that always goes the extra mile. Valentine Roofing helps you protect what matters most and backs every new roof with a lifetime warranty. But they do more than just roofs. If you need your gutters cleaned or installed, attic insulation, even exterior cleaning, and custom holiday lighting, you can count on the pros at Valentine. And if you have a leak and need help now, with Valentine's Leak Stop Guarantee, they'll stop the leak in your old roof for free until your brand new Valentine roof can be safely installed. Because Valentine doesn't just replace roofs, they protect homes, and they start protecting yours the moment you call. And with flexible financing options, including 0 down and 0% interest, taking care of your home has never been easier. Go to valentineroof.com or call 206 Roofing and get your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing.
Hey, Mike Salk here. Who's got family coming to town this holiday season? I know I do. My parents will be staying at my house for a few days over Thanksgiving. And obviously, you want to make sure your home is prepared. You want to present a warm environment. And that starts with a well-heated, properly insulated home. Make sure your insulation is ready for that challenge this year by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come to your house, just like they did at mine, do a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and your attic. If your home has damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, get it fixed before the cold weather really shows up. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%. But you got to act now because many of these rebates are ending at the end of the year, including federal incentives. Call Crawl Pros. They're the crawl space experts, and learn what's going on behind that crawl space and attic hatch for free. Then see what energy rebates you're eligible for. Go to crawlpros.com.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. New election results are coming in tonight. They show Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell widening his lead over Katie Wilson slightly. He's now approaching 54% support. That's about an 8-point lead. Democratic strategist Kathy Allen tells Seattle's Morning News.
I'm predicting he's winning and will win.
But the race remains a toss-up. Analysts say Wilson could still close the gap. Meantime, in the race for King County Executive, Gurmai Zahalai still holds the edge over Claudia Balducci. Find more updated results on mynorthwest.com. Major announcement today on air travel across the U.S. FAA says it will reduce air traffic by 10% across 40 high-volume markets. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the government shutdown is exacerbating a shortage in air traffic controllers.
The shutdown is having an impact on our ability to maintain those numbers and dent that 2,000 shortage that we have.
CBS's Chris Van Cleve has more from Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport.
Almost any major airport is going to see a cancellation of some kind. You're looking at anywhere from about 2 to maybe 4,000 flights. That's probably the range we're talking about every day. Stay tuned. Flyers, the airlines are scrambling to make these plans in real time right now.
And Secretary Duffy says a list of affected markets will be released tomorrow. A Pierce County Food Bank is seeing another big turnout at the Tacoma Dome today. Andrea Blue with the Making a Difference Foundation tells KIRO 7 TV this was their second emergency food drive as SNAP recipients await their benefits.
We're truly down to our last 2 weeks of food, so we'll continue doing as long as we have the resources.
About 900,000 people in Washington receive that federal food aid. They are set to receive only partial benefits this month due to the government shutdown, and now the longest in U.S. history. Union workers at Starbucks have voted to strike next week unless the company agrees to a new contract. CBS's Jim Crisula reports.
The job action would begin November 13th, the day Starbucks plans to give out free reusable red cups, typically one of Starbucks' busiest days of the year. Workers at about 550 of Starbucks' 10,000 company-operated stores in the U.S. are members of a union called Starbucks Workers United. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 432 with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, heavy rain has left us with slippery roads across the region and a growing list of standing water, so keep an eye out for that while you're driving. Drive with care this afternoon. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 15-minute commute. Pretty solid from Bellevue, North Bellevue, all the way into Alderwood. You're just barely moving through Kirkland. Seattle to Everett, an hour, 10 minutes. You're solid from the U District through Linwood. Linwood to Seattle continues to grow. The commute time, that is, it has spiked to an hour and 10 minutes. You've got your typical backup through Linwood, which isn't terrible for a couple miles, but the brunt of this is a bumper-to-bumper backup from North Gateway all the way to the West Seattle Bridge. Bellevue to Renton, 40 minutes, and in Fife, we're still on scene of this collision, North 5 past Porter Way, blocking 2 left lanes. You're bumper-to-bumper, almost to State Route 16 now. Tacoma to Federal Way is pushing an hour at 55 minutes. That's a 40-minute delay. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Going to stay wet and breezy at times tonight. More rain tomorrow. Showers taper off starting Friday morning. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News in the Morning brings you the most urgent headlines, the things you need to know before you head out the door. Just like you need that cup of coffee, they'll help you start your day off on the right foot. Live breaking news, KIRO 7 pinpoint weather, and KIRO 7 real-time traffic to help you avoid those back-to-school backups. Check in with KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
Well said, well read, Joe. Did I mention Buc-ee's? I can't say enough good things about Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's Auto Service Center has been around for 50 years. 16 locations. Take the car to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. Just take it over there and just let them fix it. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. The loudest, angriest Jew. Here he comes. Oh, no. Wait a minute. You've
Assalamu alaikum, my holy brother.
You fled New York. Where are you? Are you in hiding?
Everyone, the second Mamdani got elected, they all moved to Miami. And I said, no, I'm going to Birmingham, Alabama, baby. We're the Miami of Alabama. I'm performing out here tomorrow, which is it's pretty funny. I went from the Free Press watch party last night, watching Cuomo lose to Birmingham. Straight shot.
How does your comedy play in Birmingham, Alabama?
The guy love it. No, I got it. They understand. If there's anything I've learned, smartest thing I ever did was learning how to do 45 minutes of comedy without cursing that I can do for synagogues and churches.
That's right.
If you're a church out there that wants to, bring a diversity hire, by all means, have me come out there.
You are in a pretty good...
Our Lady of Sorrow, have me out. Saint Episcopal, whatever, have me out, all of it.
Do it all. You're in pretty good mood considering Mamdani, who apparently is really into this global... destruction of the Jews.
Globalize the Intifada. Yeah. It's a term many Jewish people and even the U.S. Holocaust Museum say is a rallying cry to kill Jews. Mamdani says he's heard those concerns, but he maintains that the phrase means a struggle for basic human rights for Palestinians and many Muslims.
My point is not that this is language that I use. It is a larger point about these words have different meaning for many different people.
I have to admit, I thought that he was saying globalize the Rosh Hashanah. And I was like, yeah, we do got to do more Rosh Hashanah. He has got out there and he said that he's not going to tell people not to say the globalize the Intifada. He's just going to discourage against it. I think that, to be honest, realistically, he was leading by a lot in the polling. 83% of his constituents that voted for him listed Israel as a top 3 reason why they voted for him. Does that have anything to do with the mayoral election in New York? No. But hey, they list it to them because that does go on for them. But, if I'm him, there's no reason to rock the boat. There's no reason to tell people not to say this incredibly damaging thing. Now that we are past the election, that he's the mayor, I would like for him to start addressing the stuff a little bit more head on. He needs to address anti-Semitic hate speech that came from anti-Israel spaces that he is from. I'm not saying that all the protesters were anti-Semitic. I think that the ADL and the messaging from the Cuomo team and all of those places that label everything anti-Semitic, it ain't working. Yeah. Every time they did anything, anytime they tried to attack him, all it did was make him more powerful. And at some point, these organizations have to get it through their head that it just is not working at all. Also, Andrew Cuomo is somehow less likable than the Firefest guy. they ran the most unlikable human being, and we're like, why is no one into this?
Right.
Like,
one of them killed your grandma, right? That would be Cuomo when he put him in the nursing home.
And then he diddled our nieces on the way to the funeral.
Okay. So this is the biggest turnout since 1969 in New York City when Lindsay won. Were you shocked that Mamdani, who is a quote-unquote Democratic socialist, won by just extraordinary numbers?
No, I can't emphasize this enough. Cuomo should not have been running. He lost basic thing. If you looked at the mayoral, the candidate, if you look at the voting thing, like the voting sheet, his name is like bottom right in between like two other names. So he's not even like a front of mind person that is being brought up. You have to know that he was running for it. He lost the primary fair and square. He should not have thrown his name back into it. Eric Adams, he was never going to win. I'm dead serious here. And I'm going to say something crazy. If they actually truly, truly cared about getting a shot to take Mamdani out, they should have put all of the money and effort and support behind Sliwa. He had the Republican base behind him. He's a nutcase, a lovable, goofy nutcase. Watching my favorite part of the debates was they were just they were like, has anyone here ever called 311, the emergency helpline? And Cuomo was like, I called it once to see if it was bad, and it was bad. And then Mamdani's like, yeah, we called it once to help it fix our furnace. And then Slee was like, I'm on hold with them right now. Okay. They're like, what departments do you need to fix? And, and Cuomo's like, we need to fix HUD, and Mamdani is like, we need to fix the housing section, and then Sliwa is like, we got to get the Haitians and the Irish to agree with each other on Roosevelt Avenue.
Anybody that doesn't know Curtis Wayla, he is the guy that started the Guardians, the Angels, right, with the red berets there in New York. I was living there at the time when they first started. You'd see them in the subways. He was shot, I think, twice by the mob that tried to silence him. He's got 17 cats. And he did not give up. They kept saying, drop out. You're going to kill you. Mamdani's going to win if you don't drop out. You really think if the money had gotten behind Curtis that he could have possibly won? I think he's 77 years old or something like that?
He wasn't going to drop out. This is a guy who only recently got convinced not to wear a fancy red beret to an important event. Like, what are we talking about here? He's a shock jock from New York. If part of the calculation was that the only way for Cuomo to win was to have Sliwa dropped out, then guess what? That calculation is stupid. They should have looked at it realistically. We should have stopped pretending to ourselves. Slee was crazy. Yeah. I'm not saying that but if you actually wanted to have a shot at him winning, Cuomo was never going to win. It's either you pull off an upset with Sliwa. I can totally see Sliwa in a one-on-one debate outdoing Mamdani, having a couple of clippable, quotable moments that end up going viral and catch the zeitgeist in the right way. And that's there is a chance that would have worked, but Cuomo was just never going to work. Yeah. And then also, let's talk about this. The same group of people, and there's no conspiracy. I'm a Jew. I love Israel. I don't like the government.
Wait a minute. You're a Jew?
I play one on TV.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm Jewish. I love Israel. My sisters live there. I visit Israel. I don't like the government. The branding for Israel over the past 2 years, I think we can all agree, not great. They didn't do a good job at branding Israel. They didn't do a good job at fighting misinformation. They didn't do a good job at explaining the war. And that's why you have so many people that are okay with the Intifada language and the this and the that, right?
Yeah.
Those same people who were in charge or had an effort in defining the messaging in Israel moved their effing grift onto Cuomo. Look at the teams of people that were in charge of his social media campaign and the messaging that was going out there, and the ones that were stumping for him and going onto Fox News and CNN. It was the same people who failed at messaging in Israel. The messaging in Israel came across as unfeeling and cold and racist, and they brought that over the campaign. So you had these unlikable D-bags getting hired by the most unlikable D-bag in the world and wondering why no one thinks this guy is likable. It's like stupid, and we keep on doing the same thing over and over and over, and at some point, something's got to change.
Okay, hey, Tom, one last thing before we let you go, and I'll let you get into the Birmingham crowd there. Are you at all concerned for Jews in New York City now with Mamdani?
We have to be practical about this. There needs to be work on the Jewish side, 1,000%. There's stuff that Mamdani has to do. Mamdani has to calm his base. I will say him hiring Jessica Tisch as the NYPD commissioner does, calm a lot of that. Once again, did not vote for him, would not vote for him. He has work he needs to do. But for the Jewish community, I think we do need to take a breath, take a realistic look at the situation, and then pick and choose our moments about where we need to push and where we don't need to push. This morning, there was a swastika that was drawn on a school in Brooklyn, Megan David, who I have played Yeshiva League floor hockey against. So it hits close to home, obviously.
Yes.
But there was a yeshiva in Brooklyn that had a swastika drawn on it. Mamdani had a message today that was like, we got to root out the scourge that does stuff like this. Great. Mamdani, label the scourge, root it out, name names, name organizations, and let's go forward.
Good.
And he has a big chance to do a lot of unity initiatives. The Muslim community and the Jewish community need to have a unity moment. And I do think that Mamdani, if he actually does truly care about making a difference, he will put in unity initiatives.
And then what's the Yiddish you would say to somebody, not kinahara, but the idea of like living long, or what's the thing about long life, or what do you say at the end of something when you do a toast to somebody? Not l'chaim.
Don't invest in that fakakta Ponzi scheme.
That's it. Thank you, Eitan. Thank you. Bye-bye. Love you. There he goes. Here's Nate in traffic. Nathan.
There's support brought to us by AAA. Down in Nisqually, North 5 at the Nisqually River Bridge. Collision blocks your right lane. Tow is on scene to clear this. Scattered backups into Lacey, Olympia to Tacoma. What will take you 50 minutes. It's also 50 minutes Tacoma to Olympia coming the other way. Bellevue to Everett, still an hour, 20 minutes. It's solid from North Bellevue into Alderwood. You're just barely moving through Kirkland. Seattle to Everett, an hour 10. You're solid from 520 through Linwood. Linwood to Seattle, an hour and 10 minutes. Got that typical backup through Linwood for a couple miles, but then you're just barely moving from Northgate Way all the way to the West Seattle Bridge. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 1 hour. Heavy volumes from Renton all the way into Puyallup. You'll have a little break there through Auburn. And in Fife, North 5 just past Porter Way. Collision still blocks 2 left lanes. You're still backed up bumper to bumper to Yakima Avenue approaching 705. Tacoma to Federal Way, 50 minutes. That's a 35-minute delay. AAA Washington's all-new everyday membership gives you discounts and perks at more than 900 local businesses, all for just $25 a year. Join today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I was just talking to good people over there, Home Comfort Alliance. I didn't realize it's the 31st of December. A lot of these rebates when it comes to keeping your house nice and warm or nice and cool are going to be expiring. So check those out. I also want to talk to you about the Quilt ductless heat pump system that they have at Home Comfort Alliance. They are the flagship partner. And here's how it works. These people keep coming up with different ways to save money and making yourself comfortable. So you got one room, set the temperature there. Another room you're not going to be going into the rest of the night, so why are you heating that room? The bedrooms are heated at a certain temperature as well. A little cooler in the bedroom so you sleep better at night. And then the temperature is adjusting throughout the evening, and you are sleeping comfortably, and you wake up in the morning and the temperature's perfect in the kitchen as you have a cup of coffee. And you also know that while you were sleeping, you were saving money because you were not heating the entire house or cooling the entire house. That is the Quilt ductless heat pump system, available at Home Comfort Alliance. When it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, there is only one place to call, and that's homecomfortalliance.com.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO News Radio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald Preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
It is shocking news. I guess, yeah, it is shocking that somebody just basically completely unheard of back in January could begin. A 33-year-old man could start through social media, very well-spoken, has a disarming smile about him, and he did a great job of capturing whatever the hearts of New Yorkers by keep talking about the fact that, well, you know, it's it's unaffordable. You can't possibly live here. And he comes up with all these plans. He's a democratic socialist, whatever that's supposed to mean. So he promises freezing rent, $30 minimum wage, free bus, government grocery stores, universal daycare, $5 billion corporate tax. So the city of New York had a chance to experience what this is. When he gave his when Mondani gave his victory speech, it sounded, as he was going after Trump, that maybe he wants to be president. And it goes something like this. Goes something like this.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks. We will stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Donald Trump does, that when working people have ironclad rights, the bosses who seek to extort them become very small indeed. New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant. So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
Yeah, they love him. Okay. Businesses will leave New York. Your tax base will not be there, and your promises of free rent or free buses or free groceries or whatever else you're promising, you will quickly realize how capitalism works in the free market.
Doesn't that sound to you like somebody who is thinking about running for president in 2028?
Who else do they have? Gavin Newsom,
yeah.
Right? Kamala Harris is thinking about it. AOC. Who's going to run? Pritchard from Illinois.
I know who my money's on now.
You going Mondani all the way?
Go Mondani.
Really? Because he's the only guy I know that's got himself a rap song. It sounds a little something like where is it? So, like this. Hang on.
You talking retention. Me, I'm talking expansion. Got the whole squad here, keep them at attention. And I'm not in the business of taking no tension. So gather around now, celebrate.
I like that one. That guy's
He's like a whisper rapper.
Yeah, all right, whisper. Okay, here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, well, in Fife, we just cleared that collision North 5 at Porter Way, opening up a couple lanes for you. That's a relief to those sitting in that backup, stretching back almost to State Route 16. Tacoma to Federal Way, still a 45-minute drive. Seattle to Federal Way, 50 minutes. It's packed at Interurban Avenue down to 516. Once you get into Federal Way, it's slow again at 320th, all the way down to the Tacoma Dome. Tiger Mountain, westbound 18, you're in a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup heading up the summit. Just volume here. Linwood to Seattle, an hour, 10 minutes. You got a couple miles through Linwood to get through, but then it's just barely moving from Northgate down to the West Seattle Bridge. Bellevue to Renton, give yourself 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20-plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Starting Friday morning, the U.S. will cut the number of flights at some of the busiest airports as it deals with air traffic control and TSA staffing shortages during the government shutdown. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the shutdown is causing fatigue on controllers.
We're noticing that there's additional pressure that's building in the system, and our priority is to make sure that you're safe.
After working without pay for more than a month, air traffic control sick calls have surged. The staffing crunch prompted today's announcement.
The airlines are scrambling now to make plans for Friday when these cancellations take effect. Estimates put it anywhere from maybe 2,000 to 4,000 flights impacted a day, most likely impacting the nation's 30 busiest airports.
That's CBS's Chris Van Cleve reporting. The UPS cargo plane that burst into flames and crashed shortly after takeoff yesterday from the Louisville airport has left a trail of death and destruction. The Kentucky governor's office confirms at least 12 deaths. CBS's Nicole Valdez says National Transportation Safety Board investigators are now at the scene.
They say they found both black boxes aboard that UPS plane, and while they were damaged in the heat, the NTSB says it's still confident it can pull that critical data that could answer the big question: what went wrong?
Conservative and liberal justices on the Supreme Court seem to have concerns about President Trump's use of emergency powers to tax certain nations and industries. Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson.
There's a great deal of skepticism among many of the Supreme Court justices, including the conservative justices, as to whether President Trump's actions in imposing sweeping tariffs falls within the statute and is even constitutional.
The Trump administration has argued that Congress has long given the president broad authority to impose tariffs to address emergencies. A federal judge is reordering ICE to improve serious conditions at a Chicago area immigration detention facility.
U.S. District Judge Robert Gettleman called the conditions unnecessarily cruel after hearing of overflowing toilets, water that tasted like sewer, and no beds. He's ordering the facility to provide clean bedding and toilet facilities, bottled water, and adequate supplies of soap, toilet paper, and menstrual products for women. He says it also must provide detainees telephone services to communicate with their counsel. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
In the Philippines Central region, cleanup is underway after a typhoon that has left at least 114 people dead and 127 missing. Many of those in a hard-hit province are still recovering from a deadly earthquake. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With the latest election results now showing some key races. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
This one brought to you by Seattle Sports. Heavy rain the past few hours has really done a number on this commute. We have reports of standing water between Thurston and King counties, too many to name, but just be on the lookout for standing water on your commute. If you see some, slow way down if you must drive through it. Bellevue to Everett has taken an hour, 20 minutes. It's solid from mid-Bellevue to Alderwood, real thick through Kirkland and Totem Lake. Seattle to Everett, an hour 10. You're solid from 520 through Linwood. Coming the other way, Linwood to Seattle is an hour, 10 minutes. You got a couple miles of backup through Linwood, which is very typical, and then you're just barely moving from about 130th now in Northgate all the way to the West Seattle Bridge. Linwood to Bellevue, 40 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, 45 minutes. And if you're crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle right now, plan on 35 minutes on both of our bridge routes. Otherwise, we are just seeing really heavy volumes across the board. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Many political analysts did not see this coming. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell saw his lead grow with the latest ballot counts. He's now up nearly 8 points over Katie Wilson. Republican strategist Randy Pepple told Seattle's Morning News he still considers Harrell the underdog.
I think Katie Wilson is going to be the next mayor of Seattle.
Late ballots do tend to favor more left-wing candidates like Wilson. Meantime, in King County, the race for executive did not change much, but Gurmai Zahalai's lead did grow over Claudia Balducci. They are still separated by about 2 points. On to Tacoma, where City Council member Anders Ipsen looks to be that city's next mayor. He now leads current City Council member John Hines by nearly 10 points.
I don't see John as my opponent. He's my colleague. I have to work with him for 2 years, and he's a really bright, hardworking guy, and I'm looking forward to benefiting from his and the rest of my colleagues' hard work.
And no other major swings in key races. You can find a full list of results at mynorthwest.com. There has been a major development today in a 31-year-old cold case involving the disappearance and murder of a 14-year-old girl. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
It was a case that shocked Seattle's Mount Baker neighborhood. July 18th, 1994. 14-year-old Tanya Frazier disappears and was later found dead. Now, 3 decades later, an arrest has been made. Tanya's mom, Teresa Frazier, spoke exclusively to KIRO News Radio.
We finally have answers, but then also I wanted to cry too because it's not going to bring her back.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
City of Redmond has shut down its Flock license plate reader cameras. This week, all 7 city council members recommended the police department take them offline. Council member Melissa Stewart.
I do support turning off the cameras at this time while we continue to evaluate what is both best in terms of technology, our department, and what our community wants.
Now, the move came the same day ICE agents detained people in Redmond. The police chief says federal agents did not access any city data during that operation. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We'll have some downpours still to get through for tonight and at times tomorrow, staying breezy before the rain tapers off by Friday afternoon. Right now, looking at 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
It makes no difference which one of us you vote for. Either way, your planet is doomed. Doomed!
Now, there's an interesting campaign slogan. Vote for me, you're all doomed. All right, good to know. Where'd you get that from, man?
I believe it is a Simpsons reference.
Oh, okay, that is. Oh, Simpsons calling the show now. What? Hit the election music. Make it seem like we're doing news over here. As Aaron just talked about. Yeah, so the everybody was thinking that was doing, especially Randy Peoples, who follows that kind of news. What did Randy say? He told us that late votes will break towards Katie Wilson. So last night, 62,000 were for Bruce. He's now at 63,000 or 73,000. Katie was at 53. She's at 62. Bruce Harrell has 53%. Katie Wilson has 45%. Write-ins trailing way behind with 654 votes.
And Aaron just told me they have counted about 77% of the ballots.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. Maybe he gets this one out there. And then Gramai is at 50%. This is for the King County executive position. And then Claudia Balducci, she's at 48%. What percentage they counted there? Or that same thing, same amount?
Yeah, 77%.
77%. Okay, in King County. Okay. All right. Well, overall, I wonder what the final turnout will be. Last thing we'd seen that they thought there was a historically low turnout. Setting a new number. And I wonder why that is. I wonder if people have just gotten sick and tired of politics. Maybe, off your election, maybe all of the energy directed towards Washington and towards Trump. Maybe people thought, well, I don't want either Bruce Harrell or Katie Wilson. Maybe they didn't want anybody that was out there. So maybe they just simply sat out. And then it's the lesser of two evils. But either way, you're choosing for an evil. So maybe whatever the reason is, you see the general direction is we're heading in Seattle and some of these other cities moving further to the left. And I think that is a direct reaction to to Donald Trump. And I think it's silly and it doesn't serve you well locally to believe that somehow Donald Trump is a direct threat upon your safety and freedom as you live in Burien or something. He's the boogeyman idea that he's coming after you, and the dictator, this Nazi that is in the White House is, oh my gosh, we better stop him so we'll elect somebody on the hard left. What you're going to do is you're just going to end up getting taxed. You're going to end up having your freedoms restricted locally. That's what will happen if you get somebody that believes in bigger government. It's as simple as that. I saw that a lot of people, the young, the folks that are sort of describing themselves, 60-some% of people that are under the age of 30 describing themselves as anti-capitalist. And then they say, well, some of the reasons they're anti-capitalist because they can't pay for college. They can't pay for their college loans. And they don't like the fact that the house is unaffordable. Well, why do you think the college loan is so high? Because if you look, when the United States government started providing scholarship money for people, that in the past 3 decades, the increase of tuition has gone up 313%. Why? Because when we start to give people loans and colleges gladly accept that money, and for you, now you get strapped with $35,000 that you have to pay back. The college doesn't care really what you major in. All they want is the money. It's guaranteed to come to them. If they know you're walking in the door with money you didn't save and you didn't earn, you just borrowed, then they're like, okay, but jack the price up. Same thing happens when you get to buy an electric car. If they knew you were coming in with $7,500 of federal money, well, that's included. It's built into the cost of the car. They build it in there because they know you've got it. Same way colleges build it in there because they know you're walking in with a bunch of free money that the government has given to you. I mean, if you were going to a bank and the bank's like, okay, let's see your business plan. And you're like, my business plan is to major in, I don't know, discarded foreskins and from ancient Egyptians. The bank be like, wow, now that seems like certainly a fine investment. Now, how much money do you need? Well, I'm going to study this for 4 years, ancient Egyptian foreskins, and I'm going to get out into the marketplace. Well, hold on there, young man. I certainly agree with that. Let's loan you some money. How much money do you need? Well, I might want to do 4 years of that, but there's a lot of interesting stuff about those foreskins. I might want to go to school for 8 years. Well, okay then. So we're looking at a loan for $100,000? That'd be great. Oh, well, here you go. No bank would give you money, but the government gives you the money because the government's like, yes, we want everybody educated. We want everybody to go to college. And the colleges love it when the federal government pours money in. So that's how you explain that in the past 3 decades, tuition at colleges, state colleges, increased 313%. Why? Because of the money that is behind it. If you look, prior to the federal government coming in and providing all of these loans for everybody, the college tuition was kind of bumping along, moving slowly along at about the average inflationary rate. But then all of a sudden, well, everybody's got free money. It's not free. So if you're upset and you don't want to be, you hate capitalism because now all of a sudden you're stuck with a loan, it wasn't capitalism that gave you the loan. It was the government that gave you the loan. And then, I can't afford a house. You know why you can't afford a house? Because if you look, on average, about 35% of the house that you would like to buy is the government, is regulations included, is all sorts of additional building codes and fees that go into the thing. So there's your house, and then on top of the house, the government has decided 35% of additional cost of the house is going to go to one ridiculous regulation or one permit or whatever else that goes into it. Here's another quick example. A friend of mine is building about a 40-unit apartment over, I forget where he's doing it, somewhere in Seattle. He said that he sends in the permits after permit after permit after permit. He needs to get the sidewalk permitted correctly. He mails the thing in on the 2nd of October. He calls thinking maybe it's 2 days to get to the city for the permit. It doesn't. Nope. Keeps calling every day. You guys get the permit? We want to get the sidewalk in. We got to get the sidewalk in. It's going to start raining. Got to get the sidewalk in. You got the permit? And then on the 20th of October, so he mails it on the 2nd, goes in by the 20th of October. So while he's waiting, and it's on that person's desk, and they finally get around to it. Oh, let's see what we got here. The permit. Okay, yeah, send somebody out there. I said, what did it cost you in loans from the bank from the time you mailed it? Let's say take the 4th of October, the day they should have had it, till the 20th. He said $50,000. $50,000 is what it cost him because of the delay, because he's borrowed money and he owes the bank that money. Time is money, but not for the government. And he said one time they were working on a thing over in Ballard, and they were waiting for the utility company to come out there to sign off on a couple things. The guy, he said, I needed one guy to come off, look at sign. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. 3 months. It took 3 months. I said, what was the cost? He said, you don't want to know the cost for us. 3 months. So what he has to do, now he's $50,000. That's out of his pocket. So what's he going to do with that? It was probably close to $700,000 while they waited for the government to finally come out and sign a couple things off for him to be able to open up and then start to sell. Well, he takes the additional cost and he has to layer that on top of the cost of the apartments, and then everybody pays higher rent. So when people are complaining, it's capitalism that the house is too expensive, or it's capitalism that I have to pay these loans. No, it's not. That's the government. That's the government giving you all this stuff. You're paying for it one way or another. I don't know how finally you get some young person to come around and realize, well, maybe the government is not going to make things cheaper, because can you think of one thing that the government can do to bring the price down on anything? I'll wait. You have no history of it. other than if you set prices, which causes shortage, which then causes problems, which then causes inflation. There's no way the government can control the prices. And Donald Trump, I'm going to bring that price down of eggs and groceries. No, you're not. You can't do that. The government cannot do that. It can get out of the way of the free market and allow supply and demand to work. You can get those tariffs out of there and allow true competition to bring the price down on something. But when somebody says, I'm going to run for office and I'm going to bring the price down, Katie Wilson, I'm going to bring the price down of this, the price down of that. How? How is the government going to do that? Nobody ever asks, how will you bring the price down? They just love the fact that, I'm going to make housing more affordable. How are you going to do that? With government? The government is going to bring the prices down? How? They can't. So you're constantly being sold this pile of crap that's being served you in a big bowl with some Hirache, what's the name of that sauce that kids like? Sriracha sauce or something. What is it?
Sriracha.
You're young. What is it?
Sriracha.
Sriracha sauce with an avocado on top.
Anyway, 0-2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you can empathize with the situation that a lot of those people are in, right? Because
Who?
The people that are either saddled with student loan debt or can't afford to buy a house.
You're smart enough to get into college, right?
How?
Walk this. You were smart enough to get into college, right? And when you went in there and you decided you're going to study ancient pottery, did you think for one moment that anyone was going to hire you? Did you think you were going to get out and get a job? Someone's going to pay you for the knowledge of ancient pottery?
Yeah, I mean, millions and millions of people do, right? They go there. You can't get inside everybody's head and know their career path. But
no, but you're going to spend the money. You're going to spend the money and spend your time studying some, random.
No, I get it, but they're clearly that's the situation.
Who's at fault?
It's their parents' fault. If I had to lay blame on somebody, I think it's a parent that allows your kid to take out these massive loans that says, okay, the world is your oyster. You can teach. Scrotums or whatever you're talking,
foreskins.
Foreskin, right?
Ancient foreskins.
So it was that generation.
Scrotums would be a waste of money.
Or the previous generation that put these systems in place that said, oh, this is it. Just, get into college. You don't even have to know what you're going to do in college. Just get there and you can figure it out 2 years in,
Yeah.
And by that time.
And then what happens?
And then, you end up with a degree that nobody's willing to pay you for, but it's too late now. You're stuck with that debt. You can't,
Right. Because the government should not be in the business of financing the ridiculous dreams that you're going to major in something, graduate with some sort of degree, and that somehow you're going to pay them back.
Agreed, but that's kind of what they were sold.
Yes, but a thinking, rational human being, and let's assume it's the child who's 18 years old, and it's the parents, someone else going to pay the loan on the thing. Maybe they're going to help out or not. But the parent would be involved in the decision. But the kid's like, man, you don't understand, man. I'm going to major in this, and no one's going to tell me what to do. So they're going to go in there. If the person went to a bank, the bank would never, ever, ever make those loans because the chances of them getting paid back slim to none.
Yeah.
What you have to do, you got to get the college to sign. They got to co-sign. I remember one time Charlie wanted to buy a car, and I had to co-sign. I'm like, oh my God, I got to co-sign with my kid. Oh, my gosh, she's never going to pay this back. But there was my name right next to her name. So when little Bobby Johnson wants to go to college and Bobby Johnson wants to major in some pile of garbage, the college has to sign their name right there saying, if he doesn't pay back, we pay it back.
I agree.
Then all of a sudden, they care. Then when they say to little Bobby Johnson, really? Do you want to major in, you really want to major in Nebraska scrotum research? Yeah, I really want to do that. Oh, well, we're gonna suggest maybe you major in something like, I don't know, science, computer, something like that.
Okay.
Because if you graduate with this degree and you can't pay, we've got to pay it back.
Computer science is a great example because that's a career that they would have said, oh yeah, you should this is a smart one. We're going to bank on this. We'll bet on this.
Yes.
But not anymore. People are in there in their senior year of college with a computer science degree and it's essentially useless.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
I was just giving an example of something that was probably current just 20 minutes ago before AI wiped all those jobs out. So I'm saying if somebody was responsible, not the taxpayer, right? How many people go to college and graduate? 38% or something like that. Last time I saw the number, if I can remember it. That's some guy, working at some job. The government's taking tax dollars from him to pay for somebody to major in some ridiculous thing. And then we had Biden trying to go around and say, oh, we're going to make sure you don't have to pay these loans back. That's not fair to anybody. But if somebody was held responsible other than, well, it's not my fault, man. Like the economy sucks and capitalism sucks. No, capitalism didn't lend you the loan. The government gave you the loan. The government put the regulations on the houses. The government puts the regulations on the jobs. The government is the person that raises minimum wage so you can't get a job. The government does all of this work. For what? For the size and scope and for the special interest of the government, not for the individuals. And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, I can't afford my house and I can't afford this and I can't get a job. What are you going to do for me? I can't feed myself. What are you going to do for me? Well, okay, then you're going to wait in line for this. You're going to wait in line for that. But the gigantic safety net, which has become a hammock that so many people now sleep in, and the young people going, oh, it's because capitalism. Where did capitalism fail you? I understand 2008, 2009, yes, during the recession, and then also with the whole calamity of all of the banks with all that money. And then if you want to trace that back, oh, why don't you look and see how they did with housing, where the federal government decided it was going to we're going to give all these loans because they wanted to get more home ownership from 63% to 68%. So how can we do that? Let's just give everybody a loan. Go ahead. You don't have a job. Just fill out this piece of paper. How are you going to pay? Don't worry. It's going to be adjustable rate mortgage. It's not going to pay anything for a year. And then eventually it's going to adjust. And the government pushed all that stuff. And I mean, when Alan Greenspan went in, and this was in 2004, I think it was, he warned them. He said, you can't loan people money that can't pay these things back. This entire housing industry is going to collapse. But it didn't matter. The government gave everybody the loan. And do you have a job? No. Do you plan on getting a job? I don't know. All right, here you go. Here's a house, right? And then the whole thing collapses. Where did that come from? Certainly not the free market. Not the free market. The banks were in cahoots with the government that let the loans, that the builders built the houses, the people got the homes, and they went out and bought furniture. And then what do you know? They can't afford it. So they throw the keys on the table, they walk away, and all the housing market just collapses. Where did it start? It started in 1998 with the Clinton folks when they decided they were going to try to increase the number of home ownership. So they just opened up the gates and started just pumping these loans out. It wasn't the free market that set that up. Because if you don't have a job, you're not going to be able to pay the mortgage. And that's how it got started. And there you go.
Anyway, 0-2.
Well, that's 3 generations that kind of got screwed somehow or got suckered into a bad deal.
Right, by capitalism.
Oh.
Listen, crony capitalism, I don't approve of. That's where those guys go to Washington, D.C. and say, hey, carve this out and give us this and give us that. That's wrong. That's not the free market. That's not the free market. That's people using the power of government to squash the free market. I don't know. You ever think you heard the word foreskin and scrotum mentioned so many times on a show?
Yeah, that was the first.
Oh,
I feel uncomfortable.
I am. I'm sorry, Nate, to do that to you. All right, here's Nate with traffic. Nathan?
The Seattle International Auto Show has the update. Bellevue to Everett has improved a tad. We're down to an hour and 10-minute commute. Solid from mid-Bellevue to Alderwood. You're really thick through Kirkland. Seattle to Everett, an hour 10. We're holding steady at that for the past hour and a half. You're solid from 520 through Linwood. Everett to Seattle, an hour and 20 minutes, an hour 5 from Linwood. You've got that typical backup through Linwood, but then you're entering a parking lot in Northgate all the way down to I-90. Linwood to Bellevue, a good alternate choice if you can swing it just at 45 minutes. Now, North 5, you're packed at Albro Place to Mercer. Southbound 99, solid from the Zoo down onto East Marginal Way. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 35 minutes on both of our bridge routes. Westbound 520, solid at 84th to I-5. Westbound 90, you're packed from the East Channel Bridge over to I-5. And that's kind of the story across the board right now. Big backups on most all of our major routes. See them, touch them, drive them at the Seattle International Auto Show presented by BECU. Lumen Field Event Center, November 14 through 16. Discover your drive, seattleautoshow.com. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, Dr. Wagner, I don't know if you're listening or anybody, any of your office is listening or anybody. that is thinking about stem cell procedure. First of all, let me thank you, Dr. Mark Wagner. When the minute I walked into your office about 4 weeks ago, after you took a look at my MRI and my X-ray, and you told me, man, your hip's in really bad shape. I say, yeah, I know that. He goes, what'd you hear? I said, I heard I had to get a hip replacement. He goes, let's do stem cell. He's done 20,000 of these procedures. He explained the whole thing to me. I said, let's do it. So it's been, 4 weeks. My hip feels great. I'm about to get on an airplane, and normally that would be extremely painful. I'd have to put all this stuff underneath my leg and adjust my hips in such a way my foot would get all numb. I wouldn't be able to walk when I get off the plane. But now, after having stem cell procedure 4 weeks ago, and I realize it's really early on this, I feel like 100%. I want to go out and run a marathon. And Dr. Wagner heard me say that the other day. He said, please don't run. Take it easy. Take it easy. Come in and see me. Let me tell you right now, if you've been told you've got bone on bone, a bad elbow, an ankle, a wrist, or a knee, or a shoulder, or a hip like me, please, before surgery, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Matt DeFactor.
Another round of ballots in. Where do the races stand?
We'll have the latest on the general election.
From scrappy experiment to global utility, we chat with the co-founder of Wikipedia about his 7 rules of trust.
And Peanut and Bo from the hilarious musical Shucked at the Paramount tell us what it's like to be part of a brand new show.
Join us tomorrow from 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
One day, the words on the page blur. You hold the menu a little farther away. It's subtle until it's not. At Near and Far Vision Partners, we help you see clearly, near, far, and in between. Expert surgeons, advanced technology, sharper focus for every moment. Schedule your complimentary consultation at nearandfarvision.com or call 425-900-2414. Near and Far Vision Partners in Bothell.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, this past week was a wet and wild one out on the water. The T99 and 137 families of Biggs orcas continued their hunting in the Sound, But whale watchers were especially excited to spend time with members of the T-251, 252, and 253 families who return like clockwork each year around Halloween. Such amazing timekeepers. Humpbacks are still present in sizable numbers as well, finishing their feeding before resuming their Pacific Ocean journeys. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend. Don't miss out on your chance to see orcas and humpbacks in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. A day after the election, a big vote for Seattle Public Schools. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin reports the school board just chose its next superintendent.
Ben Schuldner. He is currently a superintendent in Lansing, Michigan. The school board saying they selected him for his experience in education and their trust that he can lead the school district through the future. This is not a done deal yet. Now the board will enter into negotiations with him regarding a contract.
Updated results from last night's election show Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell growing his lead over challenger Katie Wilson slightly. He's now up by about 8 points. Find more results from other key races at mynorthwest.com. Double check your travel plans this weekend. The FAA says it is going to reduce air traffic by 10% at 40 high-volume markets. It plans to release that list of affected airports tomorrow. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has more.
You're talking about tens of thousands of people that are about to have their travel disrupted. And it's not just going to be Friday. It's going to be every day until the FAA feels the staffing level and the pressure level and the exhaustion level of their controllers goes back to an acceptable level.
Air traffic controllers have been working without pay for more than a month because of the government shutdown, and call-outs are on the rise. People in need of food were back at the Tacoma Dome today for another food giveaway. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports.
Andrea Blue is running this food giveaway. She knows the need is dire and people are hungry and desperate.
It's been very difficult to see people desperate in crisis and not knowing when their next meal is going to come.
It's helping people like Cheyenne Carnegie, who got here before 7 a.m.
Food is getting so expensive, and now with food stamps being cut off due to the government shutdown, everybody is hurting.
Well, SNAP recipients are set to receive only partial benefits this month, and it is not clear when. Starbucks union workers say they've approved a strike ahead of the company's Red Cup Day promotion. Starbucks Workers United says 92% of its members backed that move. They warned they will turn that November 13th event into a Red Cup rebellion if a contract is not reached. Union says the strike could hit at least 25 cities, including Seattle. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, Aaron. Home Comfort Alliance has the update. Bellevue to Everett is down to an hour, 5 minutes. Still solid from Kirkland all the way to Alderwood, and then you'll enter that North 5 back up in Linwood. Seattle to Everett, an hour, 15 minutes. We're solid from the U District through Linwood. Everett to Seattle, hour 20, an hour 5 from Linwood. You've got a couple miles of a backup through Linwood, and then you're jam-packed from Northgate Way all the way down to I-90. Southbound 99 is solid from the Zoo down onto East Marginal Way. North 5, you're packed from the north end of Boeing Field up to Mercer. Bellevue to Renton, 45 minutes. Your bumper-to-bumper backup actually starts at Northeast 60th in Kirkland all the way down to the VMAC in Renton. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway has improved to a 45-minute drive. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Looking at wet conditions at times tonight, downpours for some areas. Quieter overnight, more wet weather tomorrow, and then drying out in time for the weekends. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Very quickly, Teeny, because we're running out of time. Spin the Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe wheel and stop it with your foot. Wow, she did it there. Landed on me. Oh, that's good. That's convenient. I'm going to steal Sophia's recipe from yesterday, which was scrambled eggs with avocado.
Always avocado.
Always avocado. There we go. So if you're going to look in the book, it's going to say just see Sophia's recipe. The book is a leather-bound book sent to your house on an hourly basis with all the eggs from the Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe. If you're lucky enough to be in Ballard on Ballard Avenue and you hear this lovely voice coming from a busker, she's 12 years old.
I'll settle for the ghost here. I'm missing more than mine. Yeah, and if you can't be next to me, your memory is ecstasy. I'm missing more than mine. Young blood leads, there's always tomorrow.
Q joins us now. Is it kind of weird or fun to see yourself or hear yourself there?
It's always kind of a shock to hear how you actually sound versus how you think.
Yes,
sound.
I got you. It takes a lot of guts to stand out there in a street corner and sing as people walk by. Some give money, some don't. You're 12 years old. Where did you get that kind of courage?
Well, I definitely get a lot of it from my dad. He's also a musician. And also my mom, she's really awesome. She supports everything I do.
Is it strange to see somebody just walk by and not put anything in the open guitar case?
No. For me, the payment is just people watching me. It's really nice to have people watching me.
Yeah, and a little applause, and maybe they do put something in the case. At the end of one particular day, you wrote a note to a restaurant, to the C2 restaurant. It's a C2 Tacos there. I don't know if you have the note in front of you. If you don't, it's not that long. I could read it, Q. Do you want me to read it? Do you remember what you wrote?
Oh, I actually have it, a picture of it right here.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I said, Dear Lupe C2 Tacos, you guys are just so awesome, and we heard about the break-in and wanted to help recoup your losses. Here's the money I earned from busking. You guys rock, QK. Then I wrote $200 at the bottom.
This restaurant is a place you go to often?
Yes, I love it. It's just such a integral part of the community. It's really awesome.
That's sweet. Did you get a response back? I'm sure you did when they found a note in your handwritten note. It looks like to be a giant red magic marker of some sort. And the $200. Yeah.
Well, they made this really kind Instagram post actually thanking me.
Yeah. What motivated you? I mean, it's a taco restaurant, and I'm sure they would say they have insurance. And $200, you've earned it there on the street. You worked hard, you sang, and you subject yourself to people walking by and not looking at you. But why give the money to them?
Well, I really wanted to give back to the community. They've really helped me through my journey of busking at the Ballard Farmers Market. And just they've really just become a part of the community, and it's really amazing. And I just wanted to give back to them.
Yeah. Well, I certainly have. I think the gift is far more valuable than $200. You know that, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. What do you do when you can't busk in the rain? Are you out there in the winter as well?
Oh, I try to be as often as I can, but sometimes the rain and the cold just is too much.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. What instrument does your father play?
My father plays guitar, and he also sings.
Do you guys do duets together?
Yes, sometimes. He used to play guitar for me, and I would sing until I learned the ukulele. Then I would just play the ukulele and sing.
I see. If it was like a family reunion or some sort, and father and daughter had to get up, what song would your dad insist that you play?
Oh, I mean, we probably would have talked about it and decided on one of a song that he wrote, actually, called California. That would probably be the one.
Really? Wow. So are your hopes to eventually be someplace where there's 30,000 fans screaming your name?
Hopefully, that's the dream.
That's the dream. Yeah, right. Right now, who do you look up to? What musician do you think? Well, I like the art. I like the music. I like the feelings behind it. I enjoy how they produced that song. Who do you think right now shines for you?
Well, I really like Benson Boone, actually. He's actually from around here. I really just went to his concert, and I really liked it.
Benson Boone. Do you know that one, Joe?
Yeah, you don't know Benson?
Okay. Sorry, everybody. Sophia's nodding as well. You like Benson Boone as well?
He is very in right now. He's the guy that does backflips. He does a lot of backflips, but he also is a really good vocalist. So
Yeah. Q, do you do backflips? Apparently, that's a big deal. You do backflips yet?
No
backflips with a guitar. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. The reason, as soon as we saw this story, Joe said we have to do this, and I said, we got to have her on. Your music is lovely, but even more importantly, that your heart is in such a great place for such a young person to understand how we all, as a community, need to be together on good times and bad times. When it's raining, snowing, or the wind is blowing, hopefully the music in your heart is always heard. Q, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Okay. More Q. Okay. Here's more. That's lovely. Okay, so you shame me for not knowing that guy.
Oh, you want to hear a little Benson Boone?
Yeah, let's hear a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
These beautiful things that I've got, please stay. I want you, I need to roll down.
Wait, is he covering somebody or is that his?
No, that's him.
Oh, I know this.
He's massive.
These beautiful
What's the name from?
Monroe.
Yeah, Monroe.
Oh, yeah.
Monroe's own.
Please don't take. I found my mind, I'm feeling sane. It's been a while, but I'm finding my faith. If everything's good and it's great, why do I sit and wait till it's gone?
Was he in The Voice?
Yeah, he was on something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Marriage Got Talent or something?
But I'm up and I think and I just might.
What was it?
American Idol.
American Idol. All right.
It's you, pop culture guy.
Please stay.
Here comes Nathan checking traffic.
Thanks, Johnny. Seattle Sports has the update. We aren't even close to putting this commute to bed. Rain, wet roads, standing water have added to our backups. Bellevue to Everett is down to an hour 5. Seattle to Everett also at an hour and 5 as we slowly wind down here. Everett to Seattle, an hour 10 minutes, 55 minutes from Linwood. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, we've gone up a little bit, 40 minutes now on both I-90 and 520. North 5 is packed from the north end of Boeing Field up to Mercer. Seattle to Federal Way, give yourself 45 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is clearing out, though. You're down to just a 35-minute commute. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I know what it's like. You watch the hair begin to thin, the crown disappears. Next thing you know, that hair loss is just kind of robbing you of your identity. And that's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair's got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair, and they can do the exact same thing for you. Because if you have noticed that your hair is going away and you know it's not coming back, and you think, well, it's thinning, maybe I'll change my hairstyle, maybe I'll do a comb over or shave my head. How about this? How about just realizing you just want your hair back, so you want to set up a free consultation. You get $250 off and 250 free hair graft at 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair, congratulations, everybody over there. They are winners of the 425 Business of the Year. That's the second time in a row. 425-449-8185 or visit them online right there at advancedhair.com.
Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harger.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
Another round of ballots in. Where do the races stand?
We'll have the latest on the general election.
From scrappy experiment to global utility, we chat with the co-founder of Wikipedia about his 7 rules of trust.
And Peanut and Bo from the hilarious musical Shucked at the Paramount tell us what it's like to be part of a brand new show.
Join us tomorrow from 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card.
One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way. With a dedication to lasting quality. Trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good to Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Thank you, Pendergast Law. we are pausing temporarily as Joe races in. Very exciting. All the sheets of paper there. Andrew has his. Joe has his. And handing them off to Sophia. Sophia to me. Teeny or getting ready. Hudson, sing the song, please.
I'm a mailman. Are you crazy? I'm a mailman to be mess with me. I'm a mailman. Everything know. I'm a mailman. Bring the mail to you.
Okay. Somebody was suggesting, 360 says, can your guest do a mailman duet with Hudson? Well, it's too late for you to sing that, but.
Yes, you can get the next one, too. Since
Okay, mayonnaise is a dressing.
Aha.
Is a dressing, says Shane 360.
Dwayne from QFC says, hey, John, is that stem cell surgery a one-time thing, or do you have to go back for more surgery?
One time.
Ooh,
It's a procedure, it's not surgery, but thank you very much for it, Dwayne.
That's your turn.
Okay, sorry. How exciting for everybody. Didn't know who's going to speak next. Matthew in Tacoma, they call ketchup a vegetable.
Jamestown says mayonnaise is a condiment that could be used in sauces, but why would you?
Okay, how much of this is going to be all about mayonnaise?
We're good. We're past
Doug in Mount Vernon says, metaphysical question, dancing is, life is a highway, dance or journey? Ooh, wow, that's good.
Kevin in the 206 said, John, Neil Diamond is alive, though if he heard this, he'd probably be dead.
Amy in Redmond, Neil Diamond is alive, so you can invite him over.
B in Puyallup said, that's what I'm doing, just waiting. At worst, I've only got 12,866 days left.
Oh, that's right, because she's doing 4,000 weeks is 80 years. Nice. Official Kevin O'Neill says Neil Diamond is still touring. Okay, everybody, I got it wrong. You got to love John. It's such a moving story until the end.
Preston and Buckley, maybe John was thinking of Tom Petty. He's definitely dead.
All right. Oh, my God. How about Neil Diamond with mayonnaise on? This is the song that caused me to leave college to follow my husband to Washington years ago. Wow, sweet. Thanks, John. Hello again. Hello.
Right.
Wow.
Aaron says, how about you guys do Ice Ice Baby from Vanilla Ice, yo? Now kick it.
Old man John never had to shoot a duck. They're so dumb. You just walk up and grab them by the neck, done. Now, cooking one is a different thing. You have to elevate the bird out of its own juices while cooking. Otherwise, saddle soap duck. Yuck. Thank you for Old Man John for that recipe.
Well read, well said, John.
Thank you.
Wow. Rachel C. says, cats are never lost. They're either eaten or they leave on their own.
All right. You do David, the nude mailbox guy.
He says, so nice to hear some consistency and have John there every day from I don't know how many days in a row it's been, unless I missed one. Thanks for being there. And you too, Joe. He couldn't operate without you. Tell him where you're going to be tomorrow.
Uh-huh. I'm not going to be here.
What about Friday?
I'm not going to be here.
Okay.
Going on tour with Neil Diamond. The Everett Massacre.
Nick and Everett says the main lumber company back then during all of this is still in Washington and operates here. The guy's name was Weyerhaeuser, and he owns most of the property in the middle of Middle Eastern and Western Washington.
That's right, Weyerhaeuser. My grandfather, John Brost, was the Union president back then, accused of being a communist.
And R.C. in Edmonds says the sheriff orchestrated the Beverly Park building near the Interurban the week prior, which led directly to the events of the Everett Massacre. Several on the docks were shot as well.
Yeah, that was the beating that occurred earlier. Okay, wow, a lot of other stuff we didn't get to.
And now it is time for
Talked
the
about
winner
mayonnaise.
of the day.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Bruce in the 253, this is on your monologue.
Oh, okay.
Life's a dance. You learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance. You learn as you go. Some country guy. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bruce, for leaving us with that.
Teeny was in a hurry.
That's all she wrote.
John Michael Montgomery.
Come on, Teeny.
This is a disaster.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you are a disaster. Okay, Nate, check traffic, Nathan.
Thanks, John. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett are both hour and 5-minute commutes. 405 solid from Kirkland to Alderwood, and then you'll hook into that North 5 back up through Linwood. I-5 solid from the U District through Linwood. Linwood to Seattle is a solid hour commute. The only backup, it's a really thick one, is from Northgate down to I-90. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle is at 40 minutes on both I-90 and 520. Westbound 520 now solid from 92nd over to Montlake. Westbound 90, you're packed from the East Channel Bridge over to I-5, but it does start to thin out at mid-span. North 5 packed from the north end of Boeing Field in downtown. Bellevue to Renton, a 45-minute commute. You're jam-packed starting in Northeast 60th and Kirkland all the way down to the VMAC in Renton. Seattle to Federal Way has improved just a bit to a 40-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, I make a big, bold prediction that if you're a guy, you're over the age of, say, 50, you probably cannot name your primary care physician. Most guys can't. That's okay, because most guys are just busy working, doing the stuff, and they don't really think much about their own health unless something starts to go wrong, and they're like, oh my God, I got to fix it. But when it comes to their truck or their car, you're on it. You're changing the oil and the fluids. You're rotating the tires because you depend upon that thing, and you put a whole bunch of money into it. You don't think about your body, but let's for a moment think about something like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Those are the big three that take most of us out of the game way too early. There are a whole bunch of other things that are happening to you as you are aging as well. I don't have time to go into them, but you know what they are. If you sign up and you become a patient at Longevity Medical Clinic, like I've been since 2009, the doctor and you work to make sure that you can stop or hold back a lot of the early signs of aging to give you a longer life with more energy. It's quite complicated, but the simple thing is, you live longer and you feel great. Take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players from Lakewood to Lombardi. Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G?
Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
One thing you can always count on is a change in the weather. Time to protect your home now with the help from the pros at Integrity Roofing and Construction. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team delivers exceptional craftsmanship, whether it's a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Call Integrity at 206-202-ROOF or visit online at IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players from Lakewood to Lombardi. Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G?
Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
You know that cartoon of the three-eyed fish swimming in polluted water next to a nuclear power plant?
Yeah, classic.
I used to think that was real, but I just learned that nuclear energy waste isn't some glowing green goo. It's actually used fuel rods from nuclear reactors that made electricity.
Wait, so no barrels of leaking sludge?
No, solid used fuel rods are safely stored at all the nuclear power plants in the U.S., including the one in Richland.
So the cartoon fish isn't real?
Not even close. Learn the facts about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com.
From the K4 to the Telluride to the EV9, be ready this winter with amazing pricing and financing. Now is the time to buy at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma.